Welcome back, everyone, to Fatigue Rodeo, where I'm just making shit up as I go along, and I hope it sticks. And incidentally, we apparently have at least 400% more cats than usual. So,
What?
enjoy that cat fatigue. We begin with our intrepid crew, who are currently aboard Istanbul 4, a recently retaken station from what is essentially a rebellion from a Chinese mining company. You met a number of auspicious and very strange individuals, including, at the very start of this little adventure, if I could move the player's icon. There we go. Dear old Jen, who stowed you aboard her medium freighter, the JJ, as everyone now knows it.
He's saying the JJ, by the way, saying not the JJ.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
I just want to make sure as many actual misunderstandings pop as possible. Forever. Because it makes my job easier. That said, after departing from our shuttle, you met with Customs, an auspicious cat lady who I will once again ask you to remember she is not actually sitting on top of the desk and is not this small.
And her boobs may or may not be that actually big.
That's the power of imagination at work. You were then greeted by some of the local security teams, known as the Flannel Freedom Fighters. Or at least they like to refer to themselves as such. Other people have been known to refer to them as the Triple F. Afterwards, you weren't so much accosted by these gentlemen as you just kind of walked by and mildly interrogated them, and they identified themselves as the Bannermen. A group of mercenaries who ostensibly don't seem to have much work these days. Or at the very least, they're just waiting for someone to come aboard and give them something to do. And, as I recall, last we left off, Irie was still off and attempting to go to one of the local hospitals in A Block, and Plem...
No, I did A. We were going to C.
That's right. Angela and Plem 19 met up with Isabella, a very short woman who essentially gave you a secondary directive to this unknown primary mission that you've yet to have been given to essentially investigate a series of disappearances, in which case a potential nice light could be shined upon the company before your actual work could begin. You wish, Ian. Alright. Irie, who was briefly interrogating members of the Triple F inside of A Block, went to go and, I believe, attempt to find work in a hospital. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went to the one in A, and that didn't seem to be very happening, so they told me about the one where the corporate was, and warned me against going to Z.
Yep, that's right. You went to Periwinkle Hospice, and apparently, unfortunately, you decided to stay far away from anything that had to do with the Catholic Church. You have yet to visit Tornavos Hospice, which is the corporate hospital, and you were, of course, warned to get away from Section Z, where the masses of the disappearances were happening, where Kikyo General Hospital resides. If you like, I could have you go through the motions at the Tornavos Hospice, or we could start with the next day.
Either or. After D, unless something jumped out, I was going to Z.
All right.
But that can be the next day. It doesn't matter.
Certainly. We'll say that Ariki finds some accommodations within one of the regular C blocks for a modest price that you essentially put on credit. All of you wake up refreshed the next day, except for Angela, for fairly obvious reasons. Angela, do you do anything throughout the night?
I'd like to tinker with an aisle. Or my gun. I'd like to tinker with my gun.
Okay. Would you like that to be an RP thing, or would you like to make an actual roll to obtain some form of benefit from it?
Oh, I want to do a roll.
Okay, what form of benefit would you like to receive?
Whichever one gets me closer to the Panda Express.
I would ask you to rephrase that.
I think she wants a horny gun.
I imagine that the pandemonium thing goes in layers. The end goal being the Panda Express one where it shoots out the pandas. And I just want to tinker on it to gradually tick however many boxes I have to get to that.
So far as I'm aware, you would... As I recall, you wish to get the blast power that was currently outside of your purview, or you did not currently have? Is that what I'm remembering correctly? Remembering correctly?
Yeah, but I think that we had said that it was like something we were going to have to, quote, upgrade to. So, like, I just assume it's going to take, flavor-wise, me working on the gun until I get to there. So I guess I don't want to roll. I guess it's just RP.
Alright, if you'll give me a moment, I'll look at the blast template in the powers list. If you'll give me a moment. Ah, that's right. So blast is a seasoned power. You'll have to significantly increase in experience before you're able to actually get this as a additional power. Unfortunate.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking like I'd get it right now. I was thinking like just... I guess I... not roll. How to explain? I think the better wording would have been to just RP that I'm tinkering with my gun until I eventually get to that point. Not today, but at a later point.
Okay, well, in that case, Angela, give me a repair, a science, or a mad science roll, whatever you feel is higher, and we will go from the result from there. Everything's looking a little bit funky on my browser. But I can see that you obviously rolled with a raise, as you've gotten higher than 8, and you almost rolled with 2 raises. Angela begins tinkering away in her room in the evening hours of the day, or what can essentially be considered a day, considering that this mining outpost is essentially several 100 million light years away from the sun. And begins work building what is essentially a more than likely very highly illegal multiple rotary grenade launcher. You make substantial progress, however, you're having problems digitizing everything down to an adequate size so that it's concealable and relatively inert before you can just whip it out and use with any degree of reliability or chance of misfire. After a sufficient amount of time has passed, you deem your work sufficient and look up to see that it is around the typical time, that most people would tend to get up and begin whiling away the hours of the usual human day.
Alrighty. I will. Am I one of those things where if I like? Certainly, we're in an age in time where I could take a shower and not short circuit.
So far as I'm aware, you do not have any weakness to water or any form of liquid. However, it would be probably very detrimental if you were, for say, stabbed and then had water pour into your delicate components.
Gotcha.
Your epidermis is very much waterproof, or so you've been told.
Okay. Then I will just take a quick shower so that at least when I enter the public, it looks like I require the need to bathe.
Okay. Clem.
Hello?
You awaken in the early hours, awaken only ostensibly, according to your clock, call around 6 a.m.
Just as Terminus Intergalactic intended. So, gonna start off, we're gonna do an inventory of all gear, since obviously we're going to be going out to head for work, we need to make sure everything's there. So, Plum's gonna go ahead, he's gonna go through inventory, make sure he has still, basically make sure no one snuck into his room overnight kind of thing, and tried to take something of his. Checking over his phone, checking for how much munitions he has, all of that jazz, making sure nothing was damaged in the unforeseen, miscalibrated driving of yesterday.
Alright, so you take inventory of all your gear under the assumption that some of it may have been partially damaged in your mild tussle with one of the guardrails on your way to your new quasi-apartment. Go ahead and give me a notice roll.
Excellent. You know what? I think now's a good time to start off with Benny.
Alright, you see Benny. Go ahead and give me a reroll.
There we go.
Alright, that is a success. You give your gear a once-over. You check it once, check it twice, make sure everything is right. All the magazine wells are sitting where they should be. All your springs are right. Your ammunition isn't damaged. Everything seems to be in working order. However, your bike is still sitting at a wound.
We'll deal with it. We've calibrated properly for driving on this station now, so we'll have far less incidences than what we had yesterday. And yes, this is Plem talking to himself just in his room, just like his way of planning through his morning routine, I guess you could say. We'll follow it up by making sure he looks presentable. He has his uniform on properly. Hair's done. He's representing Terminus Intergalactic. He needs to look good. Or at least within uniform regulations.
Alright, you're trying to gussy yourself up, it sounds like, so go ahead and give me a spirit roll.
Hey, what?
A spirit roll is one of your statistics. Or one of your attributes, rather.
Right, no, I'm just got confused that Spirit was the one for that.
Yes, spirit is essentially a combination of will and charisma and other systems.
I'm just still having a rough time wrapping my head around how putting on a uniform properly would be spirit, but all right.
Again, a combination of charisma and will. So essentially, you're trying to look good, and there's no real get dressed and look sexy skill.
Well, no, I was kind of more so thinking intelligence of remembering, the spacing between the ranks on the upper chest and the lower left pocket is this distance. That kind of thing. Following a regulation, you know.
I mean, if you're attempting to make alterations to your clothing, I would call for a repair check.
Yeah, no, it's not making alterations. He's just trying to follow his uniform regulation for the company.
There's no real uniform regulation for what it is you're expected to be doing here. You're fairly certain of that. However, if you want to look good because you want to look good, then I will ask for a spirit check.
I guess. Well, I got a fucking 18. Fucking excuse me.
Okay, that is a success, raise, and raise.
So apparently I'm God.
Not contented with simply having your uniform look in presentable condition, you clean it, you press it, you iron it, and then you clean it again. Your uniform has never looked more immaculate, and you would say, privately in your own mind, neither has anyone else's.
It looks like I just came off the factory floor. Something to be proud of right there.
You know what? Just for that hilarious little character interaction, have a Benny.
Hey. All right, and I'm assuming that probably took up most of his morning before it's time to go to work. So
It took you about 10 minutes.
Oh. Well, I guess then it's time for fuel. Breakfast. Whatever is consumable.
Alright, do you have a particular preference to solids, liquids, space or food?
We'll go with liquids. Something like a smoothie kind of thing, you know, like protein shake smoothie, something. Except obviously for his unique mechanical structure, odds are it'd be something that would be very much higher in calorie for the biomass burners in them that actually generate the energy from food.
Alright, should you be so inclined, there is a number of solid food vendors, your typical range of quasi-Chinese, quasi-American, and Italian foods going around. There's the occasional food cart with tacos or hot dogs even in this early in the morning. And you also find a number of vendors on the street who essentially are offering what is known as nutrient paste in amino acid and amino acid rich flavor substitute.
Nutrient paste sounds good. We'll start with that for the morning.
Alright, do you wish this to be a character interaction, or you want to get your meal and leave?
It's just going to be getting meal and leave. We got to make sure we've got time to get to work, obviously, and may have to take it a bit slow considering how I don't know if I got the money to fix my bike.
All right.
Actually, I could technically do a repair, couldn't I? I could give a repair a shot on it, couldn't I?
With the requisite parts, I would most certainly allow you to make a repair check.
But I'd have to go find the parts first. Would I be able to do a repair check to determine if any parts are unneeded to be replaced and it's something I can kind of ad hoc repair on the spot? Like a alternative solution that doesn't require part replacement?
How I'm going to roll with this is you can either make a notice check to see if there's any particularly damaged parts, or if the frame just needs to be buffered out a little bit, some parts removed, then, just have the dents dinged out of it so they're not banging with other parts, and then just replaced. Or you could just do a flat repair check with the requisite parts that are on the general frame where the accident occurred.
I'll do the notice for now, because again, until I start receiving pay for working, I need to make sure we're financially smart.
Incidentally, the vendor will require 2 credits for nutrient paste.
Ah, I've forgotten where I put my money on this character sheet.
It's in the middle under miscellaneous at the bottom.
I believe he has put it somewhere else on his character sheet so that he can keep track of it. Unfortunately, he does not have it on the quote-unquote money and miscellaneous, as it appears.
Oh, there is a money spot. Yeah. Oh, uh-oh. Where did I put? Did I put it in the inventory? No. Huh. Well, I know I didn't have a lot left. I think I had like 15 or so after buying the phone. Or no, we got the phone for free. But I still had 15 left. That's why I didn't get the implant phone, because I literally only had 15 credits. Okay. So I now have 13, because it was 2 for the nutrient. God, I'm poor. I'm not going to be able to buy ammo until we get paid.
Oh, speaking of ammo, Spoon, is it just assumed that I make my ammo for my gun, or I have to buy ammo for my gun?
So here is how I'm working with how weird science operates inside of this universe. Should you actually physically discard permanently any of your particular items, like you fire off 6 grenades in a fight and you never go back after running away from a fight, I'll say that, alright, there's going to be some material cost. Otherwise, it is basically assumed that you refill it with whatever materials you have at the time, which is incidentally how I will justify you spending bennies to get your power points back in the middle of a fight.
Oh, okay.
In other words, it won't matter until it matters.
Gotcha.
Alright. Clem, you managed to assess the damage, and after about an hour of work, you managed to get your bike back in working order.
Excellent.
Your bike no longer has a wound.
Nice. I just realized, I thought I clicked on notice, but apparently I clicked on repair. So we're going with it. Whoops. Anyways.
The vendor assures you that you are now given a line of credit, and you will be expected to pay within the next space week.
You said it's 2 credits?
That was for the nutrient paste. You were not explicitly told how much the parts cost, however. If you wish to ask, you are free to do so.
Oh, I certainly will. I need to plan.
The parts in total come to fixing your bike, total at 30 credits.
Oh, that's not bad. I'll have that. He said he's gonna invoice it to me, correct?
You can have it invoiced to you, but it is essentially sitting as a matter of credit, and you will be expected to pay within 1 standard week.
Excellent. We'll have that done.
You originally said Space Week. Is that a normal 7 days?
That's me making bullshit up as I go along. That's what that is.
No,
Gotcha.
It's 9 days.
No, that's a Baker Space Week.
No, Baker's Space Week is 13 days. Get it? Because it's a Baker's desk.
Lordy. I love that Sen's muted, so like we can't hear her laugh at the whole 9 days joke.
Well,
Unfortunate.
She's not here.
Surely we all feel her loss.
Mm.
Moving on to Ariki.
Oi.
You awaken in the early parts of the morning. How does your usual morning routine go?
Throw some rocks in a cup of coffee and then move on.
Alright, you drink some rock coffee. We'll say for point of brevity that you had this coffee on you and that you will not be forced to pay for it.
I do have some money.
That is fair enough. However, I'll give you this one stipend. Alright, do you have anywhere you wish to go?
I have 2 more hospitals to check.
Alright, which location do you wish to check out first?
I think corporate was the closest.
as you are currently residing in C Block, checking out Tornavus Hospice would actually be fairly close, less than a physical block of movement away.
Go there then.
Okay, you make your way to Tornavus Hospice. As you were informed, it's very much clean and orderly, but there's not much in the way of any physical amenities or personalization or anything much to stand out from your traditional stay in a place most people would really rather not end up in. That said, you're greeted cordially at the front desk. Hello, ma'am. How can we help you? Is there anything wrong?
Actually, I am a medical professional and I'm just looking for work.
You are? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You were from that cruiser freighter that showed up recently?
Yes,
I see. Where did you practice?
on Earth.
On Earth. I see. I meant specifically your school.
Holistic.
Oh dear. I'm afraid we don't allow the person at the desk mulls around and starts rolling their thumbs and looking around the room as if they're trying to invent something that'll hit you less hard. New age medicine in this hospital.
Oh well, your loss. And she will move on.
Thank you for visiting Tornavus Hospital. Or excuse me, Tornavus Hospice. And you make your way outside. And once again, you are in the really large circumnavigable part of the station. There's a decent crowd milling about.
Let's see, who was it they told me about in the triple F?
I believe
My friend in A told me to say hello to his friend in D.
I believe Ted Bundy just offhandedly mentioned Harry, who works in Block C as security.
So, if I see them, I'll inquire about him.
All right, would you like to ask around, or are you just waiting to happen upon them by happenstance?
I figure they'll happen upon me as I'm trying to go through the block. Since that's what happened last time. But she will start heading towards Z.
So you're heading towards Z Block.
Mhm.
Okay, that's going to be a fairly significant trek. Every now and again, you'll catch the eye of some random passersby. You're not exactly a usual xenotype, seen in these parts, being a half-elf. Every now and again, one of the members of the Triple F will either waver or gawk in your general direction. One particular young blonde girl will also walk up to you and ask what's up with your funny-looking ears, and otherwise, you're not really accosted in any meaningful way.
She'll just tell her it's better to hear her with.
She'll give you a quizzical look and then say, "Okay, bye, strange lady." Okay, rolling it right back to Angela.
I will hop out of the shower, finish brushing my hair, get dressed quickly, and then gently, if the cat is not already in the carrier, place her in the carrier, strap it to my chest per usual, or back actually, because my chest. That's right. Strap it to my chest. And am I close to Plim's room or further away?
Both of you were given combinations. You are unsure of whether or not both of you have distant rooms from one another, though you are within the same building.
Okay, then I will, before leaving, stab myself in the leg with my pen.
This does not do
And-
grievous bodily harm to you.
Thank goodness. And then I'm going to take a look at the file that was sent to us by the short, tiny lady with a dick up her ass about shit. And just review where I should probably start first in that investigation, whether Plim's there or not.
Okay, you look over the information that Isabella sent you, which, rather than a official-looking dossier, it looks something more of an invoice. It gives you rather basic information about the general number of people who have gone missing. It doesn't list many of their names, more as a statistical anomaly in what seems to be happening in Z-Block. It tells you general locations of the highest density of where these are occurring. And it also has a rather cheeky message at the very tail end that states, "Please hurry. I would rather this incident be solved post-haste," and then gives a smiling emoji. Mic check?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks. Shut up, Harry. As far as like food goes, based off of the areas that I've been to, does it appear that there is food accommodations in each block, or is it like there's a cafeteria in one block and then I would have to like travel to wherever I wanted to go after that?
Much of the station appears to be essentially a egregious mixture of residential areas intermixed with commercial areas, like a giant strip mall.
Okay, so based off of what I know is from the information I have about Z Block, that seems to be a residential. So would one hypothetically assume that there is a food thing there?
Food and drink services are almost ubiquitous between all of the blocks. Again, most of the station is essentially a giant strip mall with residential zones sectioned in, and most of the businesses are essentially marketing and attempting to make business with very local customers, with the occasional passerby or people receiving word of mouth that one establishment's better than the other.
Okay. Then I want to go ahead and would it make more sense from what I've seen to walk to Z Block or to bike to Z Block?
Z Block is several miles from your current position, so biking is an option, but
Okay.
walking will take you a few hours.
Okay, no, I'll bike. I'll bike over to Z Block and I'll just get some food for looks there. Let me stop putting tea in a jug real quick and come back to do a ride check or whatever it's called.
Okay.
And when I get on my bike, I'll just swing Mom onto the back of me instead because, you know, the way my bike is. Driving.
Incidentally, for whatever reason, I did not require a drive check, but very good job. Incidentally, for whatever reason, it seems like Leah is very lethargic today. She seems to be almost hibernating inside of that little capsule in a very, very uncomfortable-looking position. Her chin is resting on one angle of the little glass domicile that you have inside, and her arse is essentially pointing up and lounging against the other edge.
Ouch. Before I get on the bike, then, can I just, like, look at her and make sure that, physically speaking, there doesn't appear to be any ailments because, medically speaking, that shouldn't be possible.
Sure, roll notice.
Okay.
Plem, is this something that you need?
No, I was just sharing that with you because I'm getting it uploaded and it's taking a hot second.
Okay.
There we are. There we are. Now the token's working.
Is my headset still working, or are we just all quiet?
We're just all quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
Just a moment, I just noticed something I needed to rectify. Alright, so Angela is making her way downtown, driving fast, and getting there faster.
Was Mom okay?
You have... Oh, excuse me, that never scrolled down to notice the notice check. Okay, so you give Leah a passing glance. It doesn't appear she's had some catastrophic damage or anything that would have interfered with her in any way. She appears to just be imitating a cat that's just sleeping in a very awkward position.
Catastrophic. I see what you did there.
That was actually entirely unintended, but this is catastrophes.
Okay, back to the whole going fast, face us pass, and I'm homebound. Kind of.
Yep, you are currently inbound to Z Block, going essentially what it sounds like from without backup and without telling anybody where you're going, just like Irie or Riki. Incidentally, Plem.
That would be right.
Hello.
After getting your bike fixed for an hour and getting yourself a meal, what is your character doing?
Well, it's about time for work, so I suppose you'd also have to go through, double check the details on the... Basically, I guess, the mission plan for what they're going to be taking care of, as well as thoroughly analyzing the directions on how to get there. It's a new environment, after all. It'd be a shame to get lost on the first day of work.
Much akin to Angela, you're given a rather basic set of information, directions how to get to the general hotspot areas of where all this nonsense seems to be occurring at a higher frequency than normal. And of course, you are, subject to the smiling emoji.
May have to have a talk with HR about inappropriate activities in the workplace, but sure. Anyways, if the route is... Do they describe the route, or is it just like, hey, in this general area? Like how to get to the general area that the hotspot's at?
The general hotspots are listed as a number of buildings, a cafe, a residential block, things like that, inside of the block individually. Again, as a giant, like, semicircular strip mall, it's relatively easy to not get lost in this area, though the amount of roundabouts and turns are relatively small in a station.
All right, well, We'll go ahead. If he has to, I suppose he could technically use the phone he has. I'm going to assume they have some form of internet on the station, right? That he could use to, like, look up directions to make sure he's going the right way.
There's a basic telecommunications connection that you can have with your provider. However, for the sake of game balance, as the GPS is a listed item inside of the book, we're just going to say that it's a pay-to-use app.
Ah,
They're those kind of people around here.
I see. Time to see if we can outthink them. Are there... Nah, that probably won't work, because that's still technically looking at a map, technically. I was about to be like, is there a blueprint of the station that labels the zones that I could use? Because I could figure out where I am from that, and then figure out the path I need to take.
So if I understand it correctly, you want to download or otherwise find a map.
Is it... I guess, to be fair, is it an easy enough place to get to? Am I putting way too much thought into this of how do I get there?
Potentially, but having a map could come in handy.
I do have the number of the what's-it-called lady, don't I? What is her name? I'm already forgetting it.
You do have Isabella's number, yes.
Isabella's. I'll go and shoot her a message requesting a map of the station be sent my way via files. And then we'll... If we're not going to have a problem driving there, then I'll go ahead and start driving to the first location given. That way, probably by the time I get there, I'll get the map. Or if I get lost, by the time I get lost, I'll get the map. Assuming Isabella's doing her job.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you're attempting to call Isabella.
Oh, I was going to shoot her a text, but sure, we could do a call instead.
Alright, you shoot her a text. What do you say in this text?
In order to assist with operations by this model, we are requesting currently a map of the station, as current as one can provide. Please provide this via digital format. It will be easier to transmit to the other members of the group. It is greatly appreciated. And then he's gonna do, like, not like the emoji smiley face, but he's gonna do where it's like the fucking... God, I gotta figure out how to do it on a keyboard. Hold on. Never mind, we'll just do the simple one where it's just the colon closed parenthesis.
Unfortunately, the colon closed parenthesis is instantaneously transmogrified into an emoji against your will due to this station's particular SIM system. That said, your message is received.
Oh, damn it. So I sent it before seeing that it changed.
You're like auto-corrected.
God damn it. Well, oh well.
Within
Fair, she sent one before, so it's fine. It's not weird.
Within 2 minutes, you receive a rather detailed, what looks like a top-down map of a singular level, essentially the level that you're currently on, of the station, outlining most of the residential and commercial blocks, just kind of zigzagging around one another. And then there's a sentence underneath it. You say the crew like there are more than you, another woman, and a cat involved. Should I be worried? Question mark.
Okay, so we're gonna say, firstly, thank you for the map. We'll keep you posted with our findings. We'll be departing for the first locations here soon. As for crew is a loosely defined term that can mean as small as a group of 4, which we currently have, or potentially larger. It's not as concrete in number size compared to most military definitions, such as squad, platoon, section, so on and so forth. It is just us currently, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm pretty sure that as far as she knows, it's just us 2 and a cat, and you said 4.
Oh yeah, I'm going to count the cat as a person. It'd be rude.
Right, but then that's just us 3.
And the other short person who is a medical person.
She didn't know that was part of us.
Is that a part of us?
Not according to her.
I've been misinformed, so...
Ariki was never informed of... I'm sorry, excuse me. Gosh darn it. Isabella was never informed of Riki. She just appeared to show up and knows her way into the business and then essentially just wandered off after being told where the hospitals were.
Well, then it'd just be us three, I guess. I don't know. I kind of was under the impression that Riki was with us, but just had their own first initial set of priorities, but maybe I'm interpreting things wrong.
From my understanding, I essentially established you three meeting as Ariki sort of proselytizing, but trying to peddle merchandise and exposit the values of healing crystals, a new age medicine. Well, in our time, it's slightly likely archaic in this sort of day and age, but it's still something probably novel that neither you nor Angela had ever heard before. But there was no real indication that she was going to follow you into deadly adventures and shoot bad guys or anything of the sort. An acquaintance, if you will.
Alright. So it would just been us three then, I suppose. I'm still going to count the cat as a person because it'd be very rude. You never know what they could be thinking. They could be planning to kill you. I have intensive research on cats.
I suppose we'll consider this a manifestation of your programming, as Terminus Dynamics' mascot is essentially a lion.
Yes. Cats can kill you, so it's good to have, Oh, yeah, no, you're right, yeah. Also, I thought it was Terminus Intergalactic.
Derp.
Derp, derpity, derp, derp, butter.
Excuse me. Terminus Intergalactic's symbol is a lion.
Perfect, that's why. Well, we have respect for cats at Terminus Intergalactic. They inspire us. And they're also our mascot.
Well, if you ever decide to start inquiring into the past of Terminus Intergalactic, then you might learn why the lion is a symbol. Otherwise, unfortunately, your character is not currently privy to that particular little tidbit of information.
That's fine. I'll figure it out eventually.
That said, what are you doing?
Well, now that we have the map, we're going to go ahead and double check to make sure we know the route well enough, and we'll begin heading to the first location given in our mission plan.
Okay.
Via the map. And we're going to see what happens this time.
Okay, everyone, please roll me a d6.
Oh. I got a 2.
Angela, unsurprisingly, with your pocket rocket superbike, you make it onto the scene, as it were, rather quicker than everyone else, and you're treated to the visage of what looks like the broken window theory, if I remember it correctly. All around you are very minor instances of street vandalism, the occasional broken window, graffitied territory, general gangland nonsense, but in a spacefaring fashion, as all of the buildings are still somewhat uniform, though some more vandalized than others. Most of the commercial parts of the district are looked over by various ruffians of what looks like the Triple F, huddled together in groups of no less than 5, it looks like. Many of them look at you and occasionally your bike with suspicion and avarice.
Avarice means greed or jealousy, right?
Correct.
Alright, I was just making sure I remember the big fancy word.
Out of curiosity, does my bike come with like a feature on the key where I go beep beep and it like alarms itself?
Would that have been something you would have been looking for in a requisition?
Damn, I don't.
Let me rephrase that. Is that something you would have wanted when you got this bike?
I would say yes, because especially considering the fact that I am the way that I am because of my company. I imagine that I've gone to places such as this often.
Essentially,
Or maybe not.
Essentially, this is one of your first assignments off of Earth, and you would not have seen anything really like this except outside of a major city. Your particular branch of the company was inside of a cul-de-sac with relatively low gang crime.
Oh, well then no, I wouldn't have. If I've never gone on any kind of mission on Earth that put me in dangerous situations or in the ghetto, then no, I wouldn't have.
And how you adapt to that is up to you. You see a number of individuals who are in greater number than you looking at you with eyes of suspicion, and they're also looking at your very visible, very high-tech looking bike. How do you respond?
Is there one of those go-go gadget daddies around?
Go-go
I
gadget
forget their
daddies.
names. Yeah, I forget their name. The guy with the gun.
You're asking if one of the bannermen is around.
Yes, that one, yep.
Alright, well, give me a notice roll. At the speeds you're traveling, you really only see the larger groups of individuals at the current time, unless you wish to roll a Benny to reroll.
I'll use a Benny. Do I just click it? There we go. I feel like that averaged to about the same.
Would you like to spend another Benny on this?
Yep. That's better.
Hey, there we go.
Alright, rewinding that back. You spot in one of the alleyways what looks like a very particular, well-armored series of individuals, 4 of them in fact, sitting inside of an alleyway, essentially just looking out. You pass by them, but you notice them as they're very clearly and distinctly marked. They don't look precisely like bannermen, but they look close enough. Incidentally, they do appear to be down at least half a block from a parking garage where if you would wish to store your bike, not somewhere not on the road.
Yep, that was what I was going to ask, is if there was a parking garage somewhere, but since I see it, I won't have to ask them. So I will put my bike in the parking garage.
Thankfully, due to the limitations of space in these particular kinds of stations, there is a parking garage typically every 4 blocks. This one is a little bit more graffitied up than the others and slightly less maintained, but in a place that ostensibly only really gets dirty because of the presence of humanity, well, that's not really much of an issue. You meander up around 2 flights, or excuse me, you meander up 2 stories with your bike, and you park it. There is no toll to pay, there is no person working at a desk. However, there is a really bored-looking security guard on almost every floor.
Okay, cool. I'll attach my helmet to my cat pack and walk out of the parking garage and see if I can't see food. And if I can't see food, then I'll just smell and follow the direction of the smell of food.
Okay. As you begin meandering your way down, either down the ramp or down the elevator, which of those would you choose?
Probably the elevator.
Okay, the elevator brings you closer to the security guard, who accosts you, and by accosts you, I mean he just kind of calls out, "Hey! Nice bike!"
I'll smile at him and do a thumbs up. Oh, no, not the thumbs up. I forgot. I'm doing the, finger salute thing.
He gives you a bored look and a shrug as just kind of waves at you before taking a drag of his cigarette.
Can I take notice of what kind of cigarettes he smokes?
Well, with your success with the raise, I'll give this to you. It appears he's smoking coffin nails.
Okay.
Though whether or not that's a rare commodity is something you're not currently privy to.
That's fine. We'll figure it out.
You head down to the ground floor, and much like before, there's a pack of Triple F around almost every 2 or 3 blocks. You can actually physically see several of them, probably within medium distance of any standard weapon, but thankfully, that's only really far enough away from them to shout at you at this distance, and they don't seem to pay you too much mind, other than a couple of them seeming to give you a leer. And now you said you were looking for food?
Yeah.
Okay, your oil factory sensors indicate to you that there is a rather delicious smelling seasoning operating off into one of the western parts of this parking garage, and if you follow it, you will find a man operating a food cart.
All right. Next question for you out of character. If I were to consume a food, would it fuck with my insides?
So, here's how I'm operating off of this. As your particular strange brand of artificial intelligence, you've stated to me that your character is trying to maintain a guise of humanity.
Correct.
So how I'm going to operate on this is that your character can either, and I'll let you choose this, consume food normally, within reason. There's only so much storage you can hold in there. And quasi-biologically break it down as if you were a human and just entropically deal with it that way. Or you can just store it and expel it in a rather viscous and obvious manner later.
Do I get to pick when it's obvious?
I'll spell it out.
No.
Essentially, you would eat it, and then an hour or two later, you would just look for a cozy place to be off the beaten path, and you would expel it through your mouth, otherwise known as vomiting.
I can work with that one. I feel like that's more doable. I'll just tell people I got food poisoning or that the bad hot dog or whatever.
Okay.
So then I'll walk up to the food cart. What's he got?
This guy has a small selection of things most food cart vendors do, but this guy seems to be peddling a mixture of potato skins and French fries.
Ooh, potato skin.
He's drooling up a series of potatoes right in front of you, and he gives you a nod. He's already serving a customer, and you see him essentially again juliating away to potato. He gets rid of the skid, and then he dips the spud into the... Oh my god, hearing myself is just such a pain in my ass. Excuse me. He dips the chopped spud into a vat of oil, and then he gives you a wave. Hey there, miss, what can I do for you?
Let me get an order of potato skin.
Alright, that'll be 4 credits.
Alright, I'll hand over the 4 credits.
Alright, I'll be right with you. Here you go. He hands the other individual, a red-haired woman, her order, which is hers to be a series of julietted fries, and then she gives him a nod, pays him 4 credits by waving a credit chit over what looks to be a small payment device, and then she begins walking away with a wave. It takes him about half a minute, but eventually he gets you your custom-made ordered potato skins, chock full of chives, garlic and chili powder, cheese. It's almost overflowing with cheese. And he hands it to you. Enjoy.
Thanks. Hey, I just arrived in this area, and I've heard some...
Oh, is that right?
I heard some crazy things happening on this block. You know anything about all that? Do I need to be worried?
Hey, listen, I just sell potatoes, alright?
Is there anything that I can roll that would be the equivalent of an insight check?
Let us see. I would declare a notice choke for that.
Oh, fuck me. That's better than a 4.
He seems to be nervous, but that seems rather obvious given the happenings that you've been hearing about in this district, but there's nothing to indicate to you that he knows anything noteworthy.
Okay. Be like, all right, no worries, no worries. Do you know where I can get the closest place that I can pick up a pack of coffin nails?
Smokes? Sure, there's a general store about half a block that way, but, watch out for the Triple F.
Oh, what's the Triple F?
The Flannel Freedom Fighters?
Oh yeah, I heard about them yesterday when I arrived. Or they're not a problem around here, are they? I thought that they were like supposed to be essentially like peacekeepers or something.
He looks left and looks right. He's like, look, they run security around here. You pay them money and then they leave you alone, and they pretend to make sure other people leave you alone, right?
Oh, got it. Well, thanks. I'll keep an eye out. I appreciate that. And I'll give him like the finger salute and walk off while I eat one of the potato skins. And then I'll turn around and be like, these are delicious, by the way.
It better be. It's the chili powder, I tell you.
Chili powder. Amazing. Keep at it, man. And I'll just turn around and walk towards wherever he said the cigarettes are.
The fuck else am I gonna do? You keep heading down to the way to the general store, and sure enough, you run across what looks like to be a gang of what looks like no less than 5 members of the Triple F milling around. When you get within shouting distance, a couple of them look to start looking in your general direction to try and suss you out.
What do I roll to look as what's the fucking word? Not incognito, but like it's almost like unapproachable, but not in a bad way. Like
normal?
Yeah. I'm a great people person.
So essentially you're trying to just kind of just play it cool and just walk on by?
Yeah.
Alright, for that, give me a stealth check. Okay. So here's what happens. You jump up your flak armor and you just kind of mill about while you're just casually walking by while eating or pretending to eat your potato skins one by one. There's a small paper plate in your left hand and you just kind of scarf them down. As you're approaching the center of this group, they're talking about something or other. You hear one of them shout, "Hey! The fuck do you think you're doing?" As you keep milling on by, you notice that the voice doesn't seem to be directed towards you. You look back.
What do I see?
Do you look
Or did
back?
you ask me, do I look back?
Yes.
No, but can I adjust my walking speed to be just a little slower and make it look like I'm like trying to get the crumbs out of the thing to be the reason why I slowed down, because now I can't see in front of me so that I can try and see what I hear them overhear what they say to whoever they're talking to?
Sure, you mill about for a couple seconds longer of just festooning yourself with crazy goodness as you hear one of the Triple F essentially mill about behind you. That's supposed to be my fucking card, you cheating prick! You hear what sounds like small pieces of cardboard flopping down behind you.
Is there a trash can nearby?
I'll roll something here, hold on. There is a trash receptacle that is not currently overflowing with trash about a block away.
A block away seems a bit far to overhear anything past that unless they're screaming.
Just a bit.
Oh well. I'll go walk towards the trash can and toss my trash from the food vendor.
Okay. You keep meandering on by and eventually...
Inconspicuous, that was the word. Sorry?
Inconspicuously.
Sorry, I meandered.
Yep, you meander on by, apparently completely escaping the notice of these men who are essentially supposed to be running security around here, or so they claim, and find yourself in front of a coffee shop when you run into that jewel peddler, Irie.
Oh, hey. What are you doing down here?
Oh, I was going to the hospital to see if I could find a job.
Oh, any luck?
I don't know. I haven't made it there yet.
No, fair. I
I
guess
will
you didn't
say
have any luck on the other.
The
Mhm.
corporate group just does not approve of my style of healing.
Oh, gotcha.
But
Well-
it is the man, and they are stupid.
That's fair. You don't... I don't often see people that do your kind of healing, but hey, I guess healing's better than no healing, right?
When you need it, yes.
True. Are you here getting coffee?
No, there's a hospital in this zone.
I mean, like, right here, and I point down with both hands.
No, I've had my coffee this morning.
Oh, yeah, I see. Have you ate today?
Well, I've had my coffee.
Mm, the liquid, for sure. Consumption of nutritional value, maybe on this block, probably not possible. If you're interested on your way out, there is a food truck. Was it a truck? A cart. It was a food cart. Down
There was
there,
a card, yes.
a food cart down there. Dude sells fries and potato skins. I had the potato skins. They're amazing. And I do like the index finger to the thumb with the 3 fingers up in the air when I say that.
Well, that's good to know. How is your job going?
Still looking around. The lady that kind of spoke to me for a little bit didn't really have too much to say. So basically was a wild goose chase, that one. Hold on just a second. Hey, are we like right? Is the coffee shop also where I buy the cigarettes, or I'm just like at the coffee shop on my way?
You just so happen to have run into each other in front of a coffee shop, and then you decided to begin politely talking. Incidentally, Irie, you arrived in this area without incident, though you did occasionally get the occasional leer while you're walking here. It's made very clear that you're a strange and unusual circumstance around here by the locals.
Leers don't bother her.
But perhaps implications do. Continue.
I'm gonna point in the direction of where I'm supposed to be going. Be like, is the hospital that you're looking for down this way?
Not entirely sure. I'm just wandering around checking the place out.
Irie, go ahead and give me a notice check.
Me?
Yes, please. Okay, continue.
I always find it's more interesting to see the lay of the land.
Okay. Angela, as you have essentially taken note of several different places in... Oh, excuse me, that was several notice checks ago. Never mind. Angela, if you would like to recheck your notice check, go ahead and feel free. All right, continue.
Yeah, okay. Well, I gotta go down here to the shop. If you haven't found it yet, if you haven't come from that way, you're more than welcome to just like walk with me while we meander that way. We could talk and walk.
Sure.
I'll just start walking.
Your cat doesn't look very active today.
No, I think it's taken one of those, what's it called? And I snap my fingers. A cat nap? It's a strange word. Very punish.
If you should happen to look at Leah inside of her small domicile, she appears to have at some point woken up from her slumber and then gone right back to sleep, except now half of her body seems to have contorted into a corkscrew fashion, and her torso is now pointing almost 180 degrees in another direction, but to no decrease of functionality. Cats.
I'll do that. I'll look down after saying that and then just look at him, and while my hands are resting on the top of the cat carry, I'll just do the like shrug and I'll say cats. And then I'll keep walking. So I meant to ask you. I noticed that there were like some symbols or something on that crystal you gave me. What are those?
Magic.
Ah. Do we mean like magic, or do we mean like magic? And I do like the same motion that SpongeBob does when he does the rainbow.
When you need help, you need help.
Got it. I say confusedly while walking and shaking my head slowly like I understand, but don't.
In the low din of the traffic of the early morning, the both of you hear a motorcycle approaching.
Like from behind me or in front of me?
From the way you came. That is to say, when you initially arrived into this scene.
Okay. I'll wait until the sound gets closer and then like look over my shoulder. That way it doesn't seem obvious.
Alright. Moving on to talk.
Hello?
Clem, you said you were heading to Section Z, right?
Correct. I was going over to the hotspots noted in our mission brief.
Okay. You begin driving in the general direction to one of the larger hotspots in the general area, which just so happens to be operating outside of a coffee shop. Go ahead and give me a notice check.
A 5.
Okay. Clem, not only do you notice the coffee shop in question, you also see Angela and the Miss Ariki standing off and having an idle chat about not about a block and a half away from what looked like a part of the local gang, the Triple F. And in addition, across the street from the coffee shop, you see a woman in a yellow sundress looking somewhat distressed while holding a purse as if she's waiting for somebody on the other side of the street.
While still like trying to keep an eye on the lady in the yellow sundress, he's gonna pull up beside wow, brain stroke. Angela. I almost said Angelica. Angela. We'll pull up besides Angela. And holy fuck, face. You want to work?
No.
And I got feelings yesterday. My jaw's still feeling a bit off, but yeah. He'll pull up besides Angela and Erika, and kind of give him a nod. Good morning. We ready for work today?
I don't know. I haven't found work yet.
Oh, right, you're the one looking for the hospitals, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, your friend wasn't very helpful.
Hmm. Well, if it is of any hand, I have managed to acquire a map of the station here. So if you're looking for a hospital in this region, I do have the map here if you want to take a quick look.
That would be nice.
Certainly. He kind of like kicks the fucking feet stands down on his bike for a moment, pulls on his phone, and swipes over to the file of the map that he got sent his way. Then holds his phone over for Rika to take a look at it. Every now and then he'll still keep glancing over at the lady in the sundress, kind of keeping an eye out, trying to figure out like... So is it like she's waiting for someone, or she's worried about getting like robbed?
When you look over, every now and again she seems to look in your direction as you look at her, and then you can occasionally, when you look at her, see her look towards the triple F, and then every now and again you'll also catch her idly, like, looking left, and then looking right, as if she's waiting for somebody. She never checks a timepiece or a phone or anything, as if something is wrong and that she knows that someone's off time, but it does seem like she's generally distressed and she has her purse in a death grip.
Psychological analysis here. She's not checking time, therefore she's not the one in control of time. She's there waiting for someone who is in control of the situation. She's there in response to someone, given the nature of the area. Perhaps she's making a payment on something. One could assume, given the triple F in the area, or anyone else, perhaps payment to a gang for substance, protection, anything else of that. Could also be a dead drop, potential for dropping off of supplies or other things to a group. Would result in worry if caught. Hence the reason why keeping a awareness around them.
Is he saying all this out loud?
No, I'm kind of breaking down his thought process.
Oh, okay.
He's not saying it. Well, actually, hold on.
The both of you see Plem just freeze on top of his motorcycle, looking in the distance.
You know what I just remembered he had?
Oh no.
So, he's not going to be saying it, like, loud. It'll be loud enough for, obviously, the other two to notice. But, like, every time he looks over, it's like, he'll be, like, stopping his conversation with Angela and Erika every now and then. Look over, and it'll be, like, basically going through his thought process there.
I'm gonna look over at the girl in the sundress and then back at him while he's doing this like random stating things out loud and just go, or maybe she just needs help crossing the road.
How old is she?
Given your notice roll, Plem, she looks to be about early 20s, potentially... Excuse me, mid-20s, late or early 30s?
Highly unlikely. Age would not indicate a natural deterioration of body function. Lack of cane or other assistive walking device would also indicate that they would not normally need assistance across the road.
Yes, but are you counting in the variables of the area that she currently is in and the anxiety levels that she might be experiencing?
Is the traffic heavy out here?
Traffic doesn't need to be heavy for the crime to be heavy.
The traffic the traffic in this station is rather light. It's very rare that you see another vehicle of any description, bike or ground car, on the road. You do occasionally see the occasional air vehicle, a propelled, essentially, flying vehicle, which is essentially only slightly safer due to its ability to generate lift and not run into other vehicles.
Maybe she's worried that because you're on your vehicle, that you're waiting for her to start crossing so that you can purse snap her.
Perhaps, but given my appearance, I assume that would be the least of the worries, especially given the other individuals in the area.
Eriki, would you mind waiting here for just a moment?
What, are you going to go ask her what she's doing?
No, I'm going to go ask her if she needs help crossing the road.
Put your Girl Scout uniform on.
I don't know. Would Girl Scouts still exist at this point? Would I have been created during the time of Girl Scouts?
The Girl Scouts would likely have morphed into some different type of organization, like largely interchanged to get rid of whatever scandal happened to next one or two instances of what the group had became before someone inevitably fucked everything up for everybody with some form of scandal. I believe the current version of what the Girl Scouts would be in this particular universe would be referred to as the Star Scouts.
Okay. I am gonna adjust the cat to, the way that you would just the weight of a backpack or something, and start walking her direction and hold my hand up and be like, ma'am, I need some directions. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question as to just the location of a place real quick? I'll stand enough distance away if it makes you more comfortable. I just need to know where I'm going.
Okay, despite having the presence of mind to apparently look around and every now and again, she still manages to start when you approach her with a cat in a strange backpack walking in her direction. She looks startled and holds her purse up in front of her like a shield, and then she says, "Oh, hello, I'm sorry, what did you want?"
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. Trust me, the cat it startles me too sometimes. Moves in there and I forget it's there. Freaks me out. I'm just trying to find the store that sells the coffin nail cigarettes in this block. I just arrived yesterday. I don't know where everything is yet.
She looks apprehensive, and then she looks in the general direction of what you can only assume to be where she just knows where the general store is, and then she looks back. The general store?
Could you point me in that direction, please? I'm sorry.
Sure, I'm just waiting for someone. It's down that way. She points to her left, where is ostensibly where Plem came from, about half a block down.
Oh, so I passed it essentially.
Yeah, a lot of the signage in this place is hard to get off of the first pass.
Oh, okay, I'll go. Oh, back that way? And I'll just tap my hand on my head and be like, Jesus, I missed it. Thanks so much. Do
You're
you
welcome.
want me to wait with you? You seem kind of skittish just standing here by yourself.
No, I'm just worried with all the disappearances.
Disappearances. I heard a little bit about that yesterday. What do you have more details? Do I need to be worried?
Just that a lot of people around here tend to go missing.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? I'm going to start heading back that way, but what I'll do, just to make sure that, whoever you're waiting for, you get to safely, I'll hang back at a building further away from you, just to make sure that you're okay.
She stops for a little bit and then considers her options. That's nice of you, but I'm sure that the nice men in the Triple F over there and the I think I saw some members of the Bannermen are around. I should be fine.
Oh, you got it. I'll put both thumbs up. Thank you again for letting me know where I could get those. I appreciate it. And I'll turn around and walk back towards I'll cross. Was she across the street or in front of us?
So, let me get a little extra layer here to sort of indicate what was happening. And let's just draw a giant black polygon over that, because I hate being flashbang personally, and I hope you do too.
I wouldn't know. I might like it. Is that a kink?
No, that's not wanting to be on a tab where everything is completely stark white.
Oh yeah, no, I feel that. Yeah, no.
The borders are still white.
Crimea River. All right, so let me just get something to draw with here. So we will say that this is the double lane road. You, Talk, and Ariki were over here. whereas this young lady was located roughly over here.
Okay.
Does that clear things up?
Then, yeah. So what I will do is I will walk back across the street and walk this way, and I'm just gonna keep walking. But as I pass Plem, I'm just gonna really quick mouth, keep an eye on her. Apparently, the disappearances are strong enough that she's really worried about that. And then as I finish my sentence, I'll turn around and smile and wave at her so that she didn't realize I was talking to him, and then turn back around and say I'll be at the general store down here.
As a reminder to Plem and Angela, it's unsurprising that people are nervous about disappearances, as if the number that Isabella gave you was accurate, several hundred people have gone missing.
Yeah, but this one's like during the daylight hours, so that seems alarming as well.
Several hundred over what time period again, if one was given?
If I remember correctly, over the period of less than 2 weeks.
That's more than just kidnapping. There's something else to that.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And it's not at night, apparently, either. It's whenever.
So it's somebody with enough security presence that it wouldn't result in fights with the groups pulling security. Logical dictates would then be that this has to be a large group itself, but there's none that we know of doing it, so therefore it has to be a large group that we already have in front of us.
Or they're sneaky.
It's easy to be sneaky if you can blend in. You don't need to look different if you look the same. Has anything looked odd about anyone around here from you all have seen? Although I'm assuming Angela's probably walked away from us by this point. But
you're on a vehicle and there's not many of them here.
that is fair. But then again, I'm always odd anyways.
But between my ears and your vehicle, we do draw attention.
Certainly. But that's how, to be frank, you would know it would be someone like us. Someone who stands out would draw too much attention to be able to pull something off like this. So it has to be someone that blends in, or a group of individuals that blend in. What blends in around here? Gang groups. People are used to them. People are also used to seeing the Bannermen and the Triple F, whatever that stand. Did you say what that stood for?
The Flannel Freedom Fighters.
Flannel Freedom Fighters. We see those around often as well, and it's frankly not a hard look to pull off either one. And given the recent uprising, perhaps there's some element of prior groups still around. We haven't actually been able to get any details on the victims, have we? So there wouldn't be enough to build a victim profile, identify if they're targeting based on specific traits, or if they're just targeting based on random convenience. Or based on wealth and greed.
Well, given how many of these people are about, and what reputation this place has, it seems odd that it could get away for so long without someone having noticed.
Perhaps someone is disguised as one of the groups. After all, no one would question the Flannel Freedom Fighters walking around, or question the Bannermen walking around, so perhaps... I wonder if there's been any victims that have gotten away from said kidnappings. Ooh.
A couple ground vehicles pass by.
A couple of ground vehicles?
Yep. A red box car and a gray sedan.
Are they stopping or slowing down at all?
They've continued along their way.
Well, obviously, it's like being on a bike, you still got to pay attention to that traffic to make sure you don't get hit on the
I assume you are pulled off to the side of the road and given a generous berth by both vehicles.
Right. Nothing wrong with suspicious motor vehicles, not like suspicious. auspiciously armored or anything along those lines. They're not given sideways glances out the windows kind of thing. Anything like that.
Nothing terribly auspicious, though they are slightly faster than normal. Though that's not unusual, being that Z-Block is currently the site of a mass disappearance.
Right, so they'd be driving to get out of the area faster. Yeah. And so while we're talking to, it's like, Clem's going to be looking back and forth between Erika and checking over at the lady in the yellow. Just, again, making sure she's alright. But, if there has been anyone that's escaped these capturings, these kidnappings, whatever it may be, whatever the disappearances are, crime-wise, if one has survived and escaped, it'd be more than likely than not that they would arrive at this hospital here in Z-Block, wouldn't it?
If they were injured.
That is a fair point. If they aren't injured, why would they go to a hospital? They'd more likely go to Bannerman or another enforcing entity. So it might be worth a look, though.
From what I've seen of the Triple F, I don't think many people would go to them for help.
Most likely not, because they also wouldn't be able to go through the right channels in order to enforce any actual punishment, other than what would be considered street law. Which, ultimately speaking, is a finer pendulum to balance compared to actual justice systems, which...
Well, from what I've seen of them, I don't know that they could pull off that.
Clem, from your direction on the road, you see 3 members of the Flannel Freedom Fighters heading your general direction.
Like they're just walking to go somewhere, or they're walking to come to us?
It seems that the group of 5 has taken notice of you, and 3 of them are making their way over.
Yeah. If they're coming over to talk, oh well. But, well, again, Clem's now going to kind of do the thing where he's now looking between Erika, just like switching views between things. So, like, be looking at Erika for a second, check back over on the lady in the yellow, take a look at the Flannel Freedom Fighters. Just making sure he's taking in information and not, like, falling into a thing of focusing too long on something and losing his situational awareness. But for now, until they get close enough to actually converse, he'll just continue talking with Erika.
All right, continue.
So, if you are able to get this job in this hospital, I would highly recommend you keep note of anyone that claims to have survived whatever these disappearances may be. I don't suppose you have any theories on what could possibly be happening, could you?
Ariki, Angela, both of you see the woman in the yellow dress pull out her phone and begin looking at it for a couple seconds, and then looking even more distressed as she puts it back in her purse.
Angela?
Yeah, Angela?
You mean Plum?
No, I mean Ariki and Angela.
I don't see it.
You are currently looking at them.
I thought Angela walked off.
Yeah,
But
I thought
she's-
that.
But
I went to
you
the general
were-
store.
You
Oh,
were
my bad.
keeping an eye on her, I thought.
No, I told you guys to keep an eye
Yeah.
on her.
That's why I said I was looking back and forth.
My bad, I was looking at this little diagram that we drew up, and I thought you were still there talking with everybody.
Oh, yeah, no, my bad. Here, let me help.
I think your friend in yellow is distressed.
New form or the same distress as before?
More.
What happened?
She looked at her phone.
Message. Context of situation. And, like, Plem's gonna just kind of do a quick scan of just, like, basically everything around him, just seeing if anything else besides what is currently happening has changed. Like, oh, are there more people coming down from the opposite side of the street? Like, what's changed? If anything, obviously.
Okay, I'll roll to see if anything has changed.
You say I roll or you roll?
No,
I
he
roll.
is.
Okay.
Okay. There's a red-headed woman and a blonde man heading down the street in your general direction.
No identifying uniforms?
No identifying uniforms. They appear to be wearing civilian clothes. And with that, we're gonna meander on over to Angela. Okay, Angela, you're walking towards the general store.
Okay, so do I notice anything weird at all before I get there?
Other than the almost uniform, larger amounts of graffiti than usual than the other blocks, you don't notice anything particularly out of notice, though you do see when you get directly to the general store that one of its back windows have been shattered. Essentially, one of the windows leading to the back alleys where all the trash is assumably collected.
Okay. Does any of the graffiti hold any kind of marking that would be indicative of territory marking via a gang?
A lot of it is triple F, some of it is other minor symbols, and a lot of it is illegible gibberish.
Okay, in regards to the triple F, is it just like a promotion of triple F or like triple F with a prohibitory symbol around it?
Most of the times, the symbols of triple F are just overlaid over each other in some fashion. Not in any uniform way, but occasionally there's a different color of yellow that's incorporated, which seems to stand out as unusual as every time that the triple F is drawn in yellow around this general area, there seems to be a disharmony of sorts. It's not drawn the same way at any point, as if it was done in a hurry.
Okay. I'll make my way inside the general store.
Okay, there's a gentle chime that plays out as you enter the store. The gentleman manning the front desk looks at you. He's like, "Hello, how can I help you? You seem new around here."
Hey man, actually I am. I arrived yesterday, so I'm still getting the lay of the land essentially, and wouldn't you know it, I passed your shop, but thankfully a woman down the road told me where you were at.
Oh, that was nice of her.
And then,
Wait, woman in yellow. She's still out there.
yeah, she's still out there last I checked. She was the one who gave me the directions.
You see him squint a little bit, and then he kind of leans over the counter. He's like, "Excuse me." She is out there. That's odd.
Yeah, she said she was waiting for somebody. You say it's odd. Are they normally here by now?
She walked in here and she bought something that I'd rather not have her wring my neck over, but regardless to say, she said she was waiting for a hot date, and she's been there since, he checks his watch, 2 hours ago.
I hope she didn't get stood up. That would really suck, man.
It wouldn't be the first time. But where's my mouse? How can I help you?
Can I get a pack of, what was it, coffin nails?
If you're asking about the particular brand of the smokes that the board security guard was using on the floor your bike was on, yes?
Yeah, can I get a pack of coffin nails, please?
Oh, sure. Pack of coffin nails, pack or carton?
Just a pack.
Okay. That'll be 30 credits, please.
Awesome, thanks. I almost typed in 30 like that was gonna do me any good at all. 1 second. Calculator, because math sucks. There we go. Alright. I'll take them and hand over the credits, of course, first. And then I'm actually gonna start packing them while just continuing the conversation with him. So being new here and everything, before I got stationed essentially at Z Block and a quarters, I heard about some disappearances down here. You know anything about that? I've asked a couple people if I should be worried. Nobody's outright just told me yes, and if it's frequent or not enough to be worried, just that there's been disappearances, and therefore I don't know how worried I should be.
Look. A lot of people have been going missing. The Triple F ain't doing nothing about it, and neither are the damn fucking bannermen. If I were you, I'd just try and keep my head down and don't go outside alone or unarmed.
Like at any time or just like at night?
Not when you're on Block Z.
Got it, anytime. Is it the Bannermen that are down here? I saw some on my way in. Do they always look that weird? Because the ones up top when I first came in, they didn't look like that.
He squints his eyes. Weird. Like what weird?
So we'll pause for a second for out of character. You told me that they looked weird, but didn't give me a full description of what weird would be in comparison to original version. How weird did they look?
Different
Like,
armor.
in what way? Different armor.
Certainly, they were a rather colorful bunch. For whatever reason, they differed heavily from the standard uniform. The 4 individuals you saw in the alleyway looked a little something like this.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you know, the ones up top, they seem to always have like the helmet on that you can't see through and some really dark like black armor, but these ones, like, they didn't, not all of them were wearing the full headgear, and they were colorful, like somebody threw some watercolor balloons at them or something.
You mean to tell me the Bannermen are finally do something about it? I mean, that's not too unusual. They're mercs. They wear whatever the hell they like. But if there's how many did you say there were?
There's like 4 of them. Just sitting in an alleyway when I first got here.
You see him squint his eyes, and then his eyes roll left and right in his head as if he's trying to think about something. I never heard of no Bannermen that looked like they've been like hit with water balloons or nothing, but if they're around, that's a kind of a good sign.
Who, is that smash window recent?
Yeah. Damn kids.
Sorry to hear that, man.
World starts going to hell, and everyone suddenly starts thinking that five-finger discount is just the way to be, I guess.
Heck, we were kids too once, right?
Yeah, well, as long as you don't regress and start smashing my windows, eh?
You got it, man. Anything else I need to know to keep on my toes while I'm down here?
Nah. Look, thank you for your custom, but... Hey! You hear the screech of tires behind you, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
You see the shopkeeper just get a very distressed look on his face as he starts leaning over the counter, and he shouts. Outside, Clem and Ariki, both of you see a van speed right next to the woman in the yellow outfit, and then descend off into the curb, nearly hitting her. The side doors open up, and you see a pair of gangly individuals start reaching for her, and then they snatch her up. You hear her start screaming as she gets dragged inside and the door slams shut.
Is there any time to... Because I'm sitting on the bike's still idling. Do I have time to fucking kickstand up, go?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guess what? We're pulling off a Terminator. We've got shotgun one hand. We're going. It's crime busting time.
I'm gonna back away from the general store guy, just do the finger salute and be like, gotta go, sorry. Thanks for the info. And I'll run out the door back towards that way.
Okay. You begin running out of the store and then trying to extricate yourself from this building close enough to potentially get to the vehicle. Unfortunately, before you can somewhat just cross the street, the van is already on the move. Apparently, the driver doesn't want to be here any longer than he absolutely has to. He begins pulling off the curb and then starts driving off in the general direction of the Triple F. Clem, you move to intercept?
Yes.
Alright, well, let me see if I can get the chase mechanic going down here.
I got an SMG and the fucking little one-handed double-barrel shotgun. We gonna do something. It's time for Terminus Intergalactic to show what its newest product can do. That sounded really weird. I'll have to work on my catchphrase.
I feel like at the end of this, I'm gonna start hearing "Hasta la vista, baby."
Hasta la vista, baby. I'm also really hoping that my bike is faster than their, what's it called?
Van.
Because the shotguns have this cool thing of they do more damage at closer range. So it's like normal shotgun, or normal weapons, right? They're doing somewhere like a D6, 2d6 of damage, whatever. Like the Uzi as an example, it's doing 2d6 damage with a rate of fire of 3. The shotgun does 3d6 at close range, which is 12 feet. I think. And it also just gets +2. And on top of it, for double barrel weapons, some shotguns have 2 barrels welded side by side. If an attacker wants to fire both barrels at the same target, roll damage once and add +4. So shotguns are kind of cool. You can also choose to get slugs for them, and the damage is 2d10 regardless of range. Oh, I do guess I have to worry about hitting innocent bystanders. I forgot about that. But luckily it's decently empty for the most part, so hopefully we won't hit anyone important. If that's the case. But I also have 3 bennies for no reason, so we're good. Just start dropping them like crazy. Reroll.
All right, Plem, I have dealt you an action card. Go ahead and put that here, please.
Okay, so this is the action card.
That is going to represent you in this chase. And for posterity's sake, we're going to say that because I rolled the 4 of hearts and you rolled the 10 of diamonds, that your character is going to get to act first. You got the drop on them in a sense. They had no idea that some guy who was on a motorcycle was going to stop them from snatching this woman in broad daylight on a motorbike.
I'm sorry, your microphone cut out for a good bit of that.
Alright, so I'm going to restate. You somewhat have the drop on them. You essentially are going first in this chase initiative. You will be essentially allowed to act before they do.
So before they drive off, or this is like...
You are currently in a chase. You are essentially trying to just either hunt these guys down or stop their vehicle or whatever it is you're attempting to do. But they are attempting to lose you.
Okay. So, where can I look at the rules for how this chase works real quick?
The chase rules are 114.
Page 114? Okay.
Characters in the chase can do most anything they normally do, such as test, support, use powers, or make attacks. The GM decides how close a character has to be to try a particular action. A defender must be able to see or hear a taunt for it to be effective. For example, if the attacker and defender are connected via audio or video feeds, of course, distance probably won't matter. You are not. Non-player character, cruise ships, starships, a character on hold may attempt to interrupt enemy actions. Here's the bread maneuvers. You can attempt to board them when you are at, essentially, let's say you were here on the chase board. You could essentially attempt to board them, but you are not. You would probably have to do something along the lines of speeding up. Or change position, that's it.
Okay.
The driver may change his position by making a maneuver roll as a free action. Success allows him to move up or down 1 chase card.
Okay. So, alright. So I need to get closer, I'm assuming. How far away am I from behind them right now?
Currently you are about 2 or 3 car lengths behind them. You are essentially beginning this chase and starting to gain on them.
Alright, so about
you
2
can
car
attempt
lengths,
to change your position, or you can try to disable the vehicle, or shoot the vehicle, or make an aimed shot at their tires.
Alright. Probably too close or too far away for the shotgun to be effective. SMG could do some damage. But we have to worry about individual inside the vehicle, so being closer. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to look through all this stuff here. Okay, so there's the actions. Okay. So for getting closer, to do better shots on the vehicle, I guess.
You would want to change position.
I'll... Sorry, I'm just reading through this real quick.
Yep.
So if I'm trying to do shots to the tire as an example...
That would be a called shot.
Okay. Alright. Would you say for numbers' sake they're about 24 feet away? Something like that? Or 24 inches, I guess, because that's how it's written for weapon stuff.
Range increments in this chase, I'm going to say, are increments of 25. They are currently 25 feet away from you.
Okay, so that would put me in the long range. Okay. So if I
You said
do...
you're using an SMG?
I'm trying to figure out if it'd be feasible enough for me to get closer and use the shotgun, or if I'd be better off... So can I, in the one turn I guess I have, am I able to drive up and shoot? Or is it just, I have choice of drive or shoot kind of thing?
You can make a maneuvering roll as a free action, and success allows you to move up one chase card, and up to 2
Okay.
with a raise. You may also change position as an action. So essentially, the way this reads is that you can do it twice, but you'd be using your full round to do it.
Okay, so if I can use the free action to get closer in order to get at least into medium range, and then I could do a shoot action.
That sounds about right.
Okay, cool. That's what we're gonna go ahead and do. How far would I move up increment-wise?
If you had a success, you would move here. If you had a success with a raise, you would move here.
Okay. So, all right, we'll give it a go, and we'll see what we get, and that will probably influence which weapon I draw from holster to shoot at him with. So driving, I'm assuming, right?
Yep, that would be a drive check.
That is a 4.
Alright, success. You have successfully managed to drive up and decrease the distance between you by an increment.
6. So now I am 12 away, whatever it is.
You're now... I'd say you're still 25... You're 25 feet away from him. Incidentally, you would have been 50 increments away from over here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm at 25 now.
Yep, if you were here, you would essentially be at point blank range, and you could essentially attempt to ram him off the road or attempt to stop his vehicle, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. We'll go ahead and do the... We'll do the... Actually, we will use the shotgun because in this case it technically would be better. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and do the attack with shotgun. He'll like draw it out of the holster on the side and basically one-handed. He's gonna try and go ahead and go for tires and hope that the fucking spread of the buckshot will be enough to puncture multiple holes to cause a full tire rip.
Okay, I believe you'll be making this roll at a -6 due to unstable platform.
Yep, but we're getting a +2 because it's a shotgun, so it becomes a -4. Alright. And do I have anything else that helps with this? Maybe I do. I do not. Okay. So it's a shooting at -4. We're gonna go ahead and Benny that and do it again.
You're free to do so.
Oh, we're gonna Benny that again. Fuck.
A shot rings out in the corridor of this particular part of the space station as you ineffectually hit the area around the tires.
Okay. Well, shit. What else can I do? Oh. Well, I could use two-gun kid. Actually, I don't know if that applies to the double barrel part of the shotguns. Hold on. Because it is double barrel. Oh, no, because it's only the rolling damage part. Alright, so no. So that wouldn't have done anything then for me. So I think that's it for me then.
Incidentally, you would also be driving and you would be using both of your hands to attempt to shoot while on a motorcycle, which I would have to make you make a drive check to see if you careen out of control.
I do have to do a drive check.
You would if you were trying to use two-gun kid and just trying to 1887s in both of your hands to blow this guy off the road.
Yeah, no, I thought about it because the thing is with the shotgun of the two barrels, I didn't know if it counted as making two separate attacks, which would have been normally a multi-action.
I believe you can blow both of your barrels for an increase in either to hit or to damage or to both.
Oh, is it an increase to hit? Because then, if it's an increase to hit, I could have made that success.
Double barrels. Some shotguns have two barrels welded side by side. If an attacker wants to fire both barrels at the same target, roll damage once and add +4.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a bonus to hit.
Unlucky.
Oof. Oh well, I have the second barrel for shooting him after this next turn.
Alright, this mysterious gang of weirdos in their sick pedo van are going to attempt to do a maneuver.
I want them to fail.
I'm sure we all want them to fail.
I must demonstrate the superiority of... Fuck.
They've unfortunately made distance on you. However, it doesn't appear that any of them are attempting to shoot back in any way.
Hmm.
Top of the round, I'm going to deal new cards. Angela, if you so wish, you could join this chase in the next round.
Okay.
The van has rolled 3 of clubs. What'd you get?
I got a 7 of club. Or no, 7 of spades.
Alright, you go first.
Alright, so... Should I replace my card here, or...
Nope, we're just using those as positional markers now.
Okay, cool. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we're going to do our first free action maneuver to see how quickly we can catch up here. That's just driving, right? I'm sorry, I know I'm asking stupid questions. My brain's just run a bit slow today.
Yep, that is a drive action, and if you use it as your action, it is done at a +2.
I don't think I need the +2. Maybe I do need the +2. Yeah, we'll use it as the action.
That is a success.
Alright.
Success on the wild die.
Oh. Wait, so, okay, so I'm slightly confused. How does the wild die work? What is...
So, Ariki, Angela, and Plem are all wild cards, which means that when you roll, universally, unless you have edges, which are fairly high tier at the tail end of this game system, changes it. You have a d6 that you roll in addition to whatever you roll normally, like your d12 for Mad Scientist for Angela, or whatever it is you got for driving. I can't actually see because everything is white.
D6. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you essentially roll d6 twice, but even if you had like unskilled or a D4 in something, you would still roll a D6 wild die because you're extra special heroes in the game. Or
Oh, okay.
however, there are also some antagonists on this station who may also be wild cards and also get that benefit. Meanwhile, these random mooks get only the benefit of a single roll, and they have to live and sit and spin with the result. Unless I spend a GM Benny to fix it.
Alright. So, okay, so I don't need to use that as an action then.
You don't need to unless you wish to use your action to close the distance for more.
Yeah. Okay. So now the question I have then is if I use that as an action, there's a thing called a multi-action penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is... So... I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading this.
You announce them in advance, and you essentially state, okay, Spoon, I want to advance on this guy, and then I want to shoot him, and then I want to shoot him again. That would be 3 actions. So you would make the drive check with your initial action, and let's say you succeed, because that is a +2. It's like, alright, you're here. Now you do your shoot action, your first shoot action, which is your section action. You do that at a -2. Or, well, you do that at neutral because your shotgun gives you a flat +2.
Yes.
And then your third action, you would do it at a -2, because it's a flat -4 for the action.
Okay. So, because of Two Gun Kid, the attacking doesn't trigger a multi-action penalty.
Yes, you'd be using both of your actions to do it. Or, I'm sorry, both of your arms to do it.
Right. So me driving up and shooting would not get that benefit of the not triggering a multi-action penalty.
You can do it, however, I will incur a drive check to make sure you do not lose complete control of the vehicle after you've let control of the... or let go of the control surfaces.
Well, no, I'm saying I'm only going to shoot once with the shotgun.
Okay.
I was just confused if me doing an action followed by shooting as an action, if that counted as the multi-action penalty not getting triggered, or...
You did your movement action as a free action as permitted in the chase rules. If you wish to do another action to just shoot them now, I would allow it. And then you could also, if you stated beforehand, do multi-actions.
Okay. I was just trying to figure out if the Two Gun Kid means that if I drove up and shot them, I wouldn't receive that -2 for shooting them. Because of the multi-action penalty.
Let me read Two Gun Kid.
I feel like I'm misreading it, but I just want to double check here.
There's like two-fisted both range weapons, allowing her to fire or throw a weapon in each hand as 2 different actions, but without triggering a multi-action penalty. What that essentially means is like, you have 2 1911s, let's say. You fire both of them. You do not incur a multi-action penalty because you're using one with each hand. After that, if you had announced that you wish to fire another 2 times, you now incur action penalties. Does that make sense?
Okay, so if I move and shoot here with 2 actions, I will get that penalty. Okay. Yeah, well, let's continue to get closer with them. Let's get up close, that way we can really put this shotgun to work.
Alright, do you wish to do any other actions?
We're just going to do that drive up action to get closer to him.
Okay, you'll be doing this at +2.
Already. And there's a 6.
Alright. You've now reached point-blank range of the vehicle.
Excellent. And I believe that'll be it for this turn. Literally a scene straight out of the Terminator movie, like.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that's a great introduction to the combat system, is a fucking bike chase as the Terminator.
All right. The van has gotten very, very tired of your shenanigans and it is going to attempt to ram you.
No. I'm gonna assume this is something like a grapple check where it's a contested driving or something like that.
I am currently reading. An attack can ram a defender. They're on the same card by making opposed maneuvering rolls. Go ahead and give me a drive check.
Alrighty. I don't suppose there's any advantage to the fact I have a more maneuverable bike in this, is there?
I don't believe so, no, but I will look it up for you if you like.
Sure, just in case. I wanna set up an advantage here because this is like our plot lead into what's going on, and if this gets away, I feel like we're gonna be having a very rough time trying to figure out what the fuck's actually going on. I'm just waiting for the point where, out of nowhere, Angela comes flying overhead with her little jet bike, starts blasting into the opposite side of the vehicle like every chase scene in every action movie. Either that or she busts out a sniper rifle and like lays down prone in the middle of the street and snipes the tire from like several blocks away. That'd be fucking dope as hell. It's like Deadpool.
Ow.
Let's see. Street bike, size 1, handling +1. Toughness of 8.
Handling a +1, does that just mean when I'm driving it, I get a +1?
That is a +1 to your maneuvering rolls, I believe.
Okay, so when I'm doing a maneuver with the drive or whatever else, I get a plus.
It seems like, yeah, whenever you're doing a maneuver in a chase, you get a +1. The minivan that you're fighting does not. However, it is 3 size categories larger than you.
Yikes. Okay, so we'll do this drive contest real quick then. And then I'm getting a +1 on it because of the maneuverability. Or handling. Okay, cool. So there we go, there's a 5. And we'll see if I need to Benny this. We're gonna pray they don't get a 5 or higher.
All right.
Get fucked, nerds. I'm on a bike.
They unsuccessfully attempt to swerve into your vehicle. Unfortunately, due to the size and weight of the vehicle, I'm going to state that they're now out of control.
Oh. Terminus Intergalactic would remind you it's a crime to damage government property.
Terminus Intergalactic would like to remind you, get fucked.
Terminus Intergalactic would like to remind you, bullets hurt. They're coming your way. Hard. Fast. Bullets. 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 So, out of control, I'm assuming means they have a chance to crash here if they don't regain control?
Out of control means they're out of fucking control.
Oh, so they're not getting that shit back.
The car is swerving all over the road.
The van begins to spin out as it skids in the middle of the street. Many of the pedestrians, including the group of flannel freedom fighters, look on and gawk as this weird chase is essentially started out in the middle of the street. Clem, you are currently right next to this vehicle as it spins out, and you maintain control of your vehicle as it attempted to strike you. Angela, you are now in initiative, so I will now do you all a card.
Oh, okay, so you got the distracted effect for the out of control.
Yep, they're currently distracted.
Okay.
Set of hearts.
I got an ace of diamonds.
I have a 7 of diamonds.
Okay, I believe that these characters are once again going last. Unless I've gotten my clubs wrong.
Oh, is it like certain suits have or certain shapes, whatever the fuck they're called, have a higher value? So is it number that takes precedence overall, or is it the suit?
According
Like
to the rules, the countdown, the suits go in order. Ties are resolved by suit order. Spade, heart, diamond, and then club.
Ah, okay, so you go by numbers first, but if there's a tie number, then the suits come into play.
So apparently these guys go shortly before Angela, but Angela is now on the scene.
Nice. So I'm going
Clem,
first
you have
again.
Ace of Hearts, you go first.
Alright. So, they're distracted. Are they still in the process of spinning out on my turn, or have they come to a stop?
They're currently just attempting to get out of being distracted from being, well, spinning out because of their incompetence.
Ah. So they are stopped. For the moment.
The chase is still happening, they're currently distracted though.
I'm assuming that means they just have disadvantage on stuff.
They have unfortunate negligence to their roll, yes.
Ah. Alright, well then. Well, we're
Out
gonna
of
go ahead-
curiosity, was Ari not involved in any of this?
I would have asked Ari if he wanted to get on Angela's vehicle, but he has stated very clearly that he and vehicles do not mix.
Gotcha.
They tend to die.
Ah. That's probably a good thing then. Alrighty, well, what we're gonna go ahead and do is, since we're up to the side of them, we're gonna go ahead and try and put a shotgun blast through the driver's side window. I'm assuming I'm gonna be closer to their driver's side because that'd be the fastest way I would have pulled up in order to try and shut down the vehicle.
Are you attempting to destroy the vehicle, or are you attempting to board the vehicle?
I'm attempting to stop it from moving without causing it to explode. So I'm trying to basically blast the driver right now through the... I'm assuming this van is like normal van-ish kind of, where it's got the windows and everything that someone could, if they're pulled up next to you, could shoot through.
I'm using the stats for a minivan, but it's basically basically like a delivery van.
All right. So if I'm pulled up alongside him, I would be able to shoot the driver.
You may make a called shot to the driver if you wish.
Yeah, sure. We can.
That will incur a -4. How many shots do you wish to take?
We're gonna do it with the shotgun because it gets that +2, and technically there's a chance to hit the passenger in the front seat. So.
There is no passenger in the front seat. The rest of the action seems to be happening in the business end. That is to say, the back.
I don't like how you said the action is happening in the business end. That sounds like I need to stop.
The implication of the kidnapping.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it'd be -4, but then becomes -2 because of the +2 shotgun skill. Right? I think I'm doing that math right.
Say again?
Okay. We're gonna use a Benny on that. What did I roll? I rolled a 1 and a 3. Well, thanks, game. Alright. Using the last Benny here. We don't give up. Never give up. We still fucked it, though. But at least we're scaring the shit out of him with the shotgun.
Alright, you fire another singular shot into the dashboard of this poor unfortunate guy's minivan that doubles as a van.
It means it'll be easily recognizable if we gotta track it down later.
These guys are going to attempt to use the entirety of their action to attempt to get back up on the road.
I'm going to hope they fail.
They fail.
Yes.
Actually, wait. I think that's just barely a success because of the +2, because they're using their action to do it, and distraction, I believe, gives a -2.
Oh, yeah, so that would be a 4.
They skid away just barely away from you. Angela, you're up.
I would like to do whatever I have to do to attempt to not get in front of them, but get close enough to where I can use my gun to shoot something in front of them in an attempt to stop the vehicle or lose control again.
Okay. This is currently your action card. You are the 7 of diamonds. If you wish, you can use the maneuver of changing position to change position to here. If you use that as a free action, you receive no bonus. If you use your action to do it, you receive a +2.
What happens if I use my action? Do I have to wait until my next turn after that?
You can attempt to do multiple actions a turn, but it has an incurring -2 penalty for every additional action. That is to say, if you wanted to move here, and you used your first action to do it, and you announced multiple actions, you would do this one as a +2, and then -2, and then -4.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. And they're at the 4? The 4 of hearts?
The 4 of hearts is the representation of the minivan, yes. You are currently, let's see, you are essentially 75 tiles away from them at the moment in Theater of the Mind.
Okay. Then I guess if I move one card up, I tried to move it, but it won't let me. Yes. Give me a second.
No problem.
If I'm not you, sorry. If I move one card space up without using my action, would I be close enough to shoot my gun in front of them, or do I need to be closer?
So here's how the chase mechanic essentially works. For every time you would want to use the change position maneuver, like if you wanted to get here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would need to make a drive check. However, if you use your action to do it, you receive a +2. Otherwise, you can use a single free action to attempt to move up here with no bonus or penalty. How many tiles you move is determined by how high your result is. If you get a success with a raise, let's say you roll 8 or higher, then you can move up 2 tiles.
Okay.
If you need me to explain anything, let me know.
Okay. Can I use my... So if I use a free action, then I could still shoot?
If you use a free action, you can then queue up to 3 additional actions. However, for every action after the first, you will incur a -2 penalty.
Okay. Then I want to use the driving ones so that I don't incur a penalty. And we'll just see how well I do, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and give me a drive check for your free action.
Oh god, let me Benny my
That is a
last
success.
Benny. Oh no, let me not Benny my last Benny.
You move up 1 unit in the chase. You are now about 50 increments away.
Is that close enough to shoot my gun in front of them or no?
What are the ranges of your gun?
That's a great question. I don't think we looked that up.
Well, I don't think you're going to shoot him with your knife.
You're not wrong.
Unless it's a ballistic knife.
No.
Oh.
Let me double check real quick if...
According to this, your panda assistant has a range of your smarts.
Yeah, but that's not my gun. That's my my coin. Or are we going to use the gun off of smarts too?
I don't see a gun on your character sheet.
Okay, so remember we were saying that the
your cone template range. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Cone template. Funnily enough, I think cone template, how I'm gonna roll that, goes out to 55 feet. So you are just within range to hit him with it.
Okay, I'm 50 away from him.
Yeah,
Yep, you were
each one of the
50,
blue cards is
50 increments
25.
away. You can cast your power if you wish.
Okay. Is there anything in front of them that I could, like, aim towards, not at, but towards, in an attempt for it to fall over in front of the car?
Okay, sounds like you're trying to do a trick. However, I will require a successful casting of your spell to do that.
This might be the point to use your Benny.
Unfortunately, it looks like your weapon appears to have jammed.
Okay, then I will use my Benny.
Jam this. Ooh!
Okay, success with the raise. All right, you've thoroughly put it inside. Plem, you hear the second bike coming up from behind you, and all of a sudden you just hear.
What noise do pandas make?
And then a secondary explosion happens outside of the windscreen of the right side of the minivan.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll damage.
let's see something high.
An 8 and then a 2.
Okay, 10 damage. So you said you wanted to knock something over?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just check the health of the vehicle real quick.
I believe it's large have 4 wounds. Everything below large is 3, and then it's like large is 4, huge is 5, and gigantic is 6. If that's what you're looking for.
Vehicle critical hits.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Guidance or traction. The wheels, tracks, sails, thrusters, etc. have been hit. Reduce handling by 1 each time this occurs to a maximum penalty of -4.
Oh. Okay.
Pieces of the windscreen go flying off and collide with one of the tires of the van, and then starts spinning out of control immediately into Plum's vehicle, but they swerve out just in time, just to maintain bare control of their vehicle. A circuit lamppost lands in front of the vehicle, but they seem to drive over it, risking going out of control. They have lost control of the vehicle.
Oh! Again.
They're not having a good time. Oh no, not again.
Oh wow, it's almost as they've committed crimes in front of people who are here to get paid and have something to prove. So we're gonna try really hard.
Well, Angela, you've rattled their fucking cage, that's for damn sure, as you see the van go careening onto its side and then do a complete rollover. The occupants are distracted again.
Was that a major collision, or what was that?
That was taking some damage that I've not bothered to roll. They are now currently at 2 wounds.
Oog.
They're distracted. They're at a -3 until their next turn. All right. I believe...
Seeing the craziness that's going on, Ariki will just start running in that general direction.
Sure. Give me a...
Explosions in the distance.
I don't think athletics is a thing in this system. Oh no, it is. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Gets a 0. Eat shit on the ground. Uh-oh.
Game over. Yeah.
Someone forgot the O. Someone forgot the stretch. Hey, you got bennies for a reason though, right?
I had to find them.
If you click on that 3 above your name, it should let you access them.
The 3 that looks like an archway, not a goat head.
Wait, he doesn't have one above his name.
He doesn't?
Oh yeah, he does. Oh, the goat head. I see. That's my bad.
Yeah, and your little profile picture down the bottom left, or wherever you put it. If you click that, you should see like a selection of 3 cards, and you can just click and drag it out into the field. Oh.
Now what?
Well, you have spent a Benny, so now you may choose to attempt to have a contrivance enter the scene, or you can re-roll your check.
A contrivance?
Yep, bennies can be used within reason to cause a contrivance that I'd essentially have to pull out my arse to have something interesting happen in the scene, but I don't think that's something that's really applicable, as no one's really going to probably stop by and pick you up or anything.
There you go.
Okay. It's not a success with the raise, but you take off at a decent pace. It's going to take you a while to get to the action, as they've essentially taken off and almost immediately caused this van to have a very nasty time.
Yeah, but I figure somebody will need patched up after this.
That's a significant worry, potentially, yes. Okay, I believe... yep, the van went, and then Angela completely frittered their shitters, and I believe it's top of the round.
Alright, and so the vehicle is stopped now.
The vehicle is distracted. The chase is still happening.
Oh, fuck. Alright. Okay, well then, we're gonna go ahead here. And... Ooh,
I have dealt cards to everybody. 4 clubs.
Oh yeah, I forgot we gotta do the cards thing. 9 of diamonds.
I got 10 of clubs.
Okay, I believe the order would be Angela, then Plem, then the poor misbegotten sods in the van.
They're about to have a bad time if they don't...
They're already having a bad time. They just got hit by a grenade launcher shaped like a panda.
That's what that is? That's wild. I love that. You're like the fucking anime Kuma Kuma Bear.
Alright, Angela. You're up.
Maybe unmuted. Fuck. There we go. So from what I understand, the vehicle has not toppled over. It is still on all 4 wheels, losing control on the road, or...
Miraculously, after having dealt it catastrophic damage, it rolled over onto its side and did a complete circle It is on its wheels again, but one of them is damaged, and the occupants are most likely rattled. However, they seem to be attempting to continue back on as if nothing had happened.
Okay. Fuck, I don't want to risk the driving skill fucking up again. Can I do the one where I move up, but then I get like a -2 penalty to move up again?
You wish to
Or whatever it is.
You wish to queue up multiple move actions?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a drive check at +2. That is success with a raise. Alright, you are here. You can attempt to use your second action as you announced to drive in front of them, or you can ignore it.
I don't want to drive in front of them, but can I like hold my bright pink ass grenade launcher at the window and smile at him and just mouth the words, "Pull over"?
Okay, you pull up in your hot pink pocket rocket. You point your mysterious panda-shaped contraption at them very menacingly, and I will ask you to make me... Let me look. Make me a spirit roll, please.
Oh.
It's pretty good for me. I only have a D4.
Same. That's all I've got. Surprised it's not persuasion.
I feel like it'd be intimidation for sure, but that's
Wait,
not a
is
thing.
there? Oh, okay. Well, that's why I said persuasion, is because I thought intimidation wasn't a thing. I forget that I have a battle skill, which means I can come up with military tactics. I always forget that's a thing.
So far as I remember, battle is essentially used when you announce your turn to give somebody or your companions a potential +1 or +2 to their actions, or +1 to a particular action like melee fighting, or shooting, or driving.
Oh, so I could use that, like, on my next turn. Say, hey, I'm going to do... Like, I'll shout over to Angela, hey, I'm going to do this, and it'll... Because she can better plan for what I'm about to do, it means she can get an advantage to something she does in response or something.
Yes, but it will count as an action, so it will incur the multi-action penalty if you wish to do anything else.
Okay.
Alright, Angela, you point your Panda launcher, your Panda Express, at the occupant of the driver's side of the vehicle. He looks as if he was disfigured before he'd had his van roll over twice in the street. And he screams as he attempts to rattle onto the gas as the vehicle barely moves in tandem with his pounding of the dashboard. He seems very shook. Especially as it's now Plem's turn.
You should be. So the first thing we're going to start off with doing, we're going to use our free action to move up. Or maybe we won't.
Unfortunately, due to the positioning of the van, you're having a hard time getting closer to the vehicle. It's almost partially lobotomized itself into the middle of the interstate, and on part of the sidewalk, there's very little room to maneuver around it, and you almost get yourself creamed against part of the guard railing, attempting to get around it. But you do not crash.
That is good. Alright, so for an actual action, what we're going to go ahead and do, Plem's going to lock his shotgun. It's going to be really hard to reload on the drive, and he needs to get damage downrange. So he's going to lock his fucking little shotgun back into its holster on one side, switch hands, pull out the SMG. It's time for Uzi. Uzi 9mm. And that's going to be at long range, which I think means there's detriments to it. Because the range increments are 12, 24, 48 for the Uzi as well. Yeah, okay.
Unlucky. Yep, at extreme range... I'm sorry, excuse me, long range, you will be doing this at a -4 by default.
Oof. Okay, well... I have to get an 8, basically, to succeed then, yeah.
It's possible.
Like that. Wait, that didn't apply the -4. Fuck. I got really excited for a second. No, that's a 2. And
Alright, how many rounds do you fire?
3.
You're using your rate of fire 3?
Oh, I thought I just automatically fired 3. Is it like a choose how many shots thing?
So, here's how rate of fire works. I believe at a rate of fire 3, you fire either 10 or 20 rounds.
Oh. I just assumed it meant 3 bullets. Whoops.
Encumbrance, armor, shields,
I'll search it up.
range.
It's gotta be around here somewhere.
Let's see, at a rate of fire 3, you would fire 10 bullets.
Oh.
And you would get 3 checks with a cumulative -1. So that's your first check. Give me another 2 with a -1 and a -2, which is effectively like -9 and -10.
Yeah, because it go from a -4 to a -5 to a -6.
Yup, if you're using a rate of fire 3, then you're effectively suffering from recoil in the subsequent checks.
Okay. Can I just do the 1 then?
You just want to fire once?
Yeah, which that would just be like what? A couple bullets then? Or
You
something
just
like
fire 1 bullet.
that? Yeah, we'll call it a ranging shot. There we go.
Okay, you plink away in the general direction of the van, trying to get a ranging shot. It doesn't land near where you're wanting it to go, but you don't kill anybody, so you're happy. Alright,
I really don't think this shooting skill.
let's see these guys pull a win out of their ass with a -3 to all their checks for this round.
No. They ain't getting shit.
Angela and Clem, on either side of the vehicles, you see the tire screech out against the curb as he's sort of listing on one of the pieces of guardrail that he's smashed into and rolled on.
Oh, Sin's back.
Well,
Yay.
Sin, we're in a vehicle chase. She's not banned the Discord call yet.
No.
Alright, top of the round. 9 of spades.
5 of hearts.
3 of diamonds.
Alright, surprisingly, these gentlemen are going first. They are no longer distracted, but they still have a -1 because Angela popped one of their tires. Their tire continues to spin out of control as the driver seriously seems to consider whether or not he should just bail and start running on foot.
Well, good. We don't necessarily care too much if he gets away. We are trying to stop the vehicle because there's a person kidnapped in the back. But, yeah. Alrighty. Who is next?
I believe it was Plem and then Angela.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So, we're gonna use our free action to attempt to drive on up alongside him again, get within that close range so I can stop.
All right, you were attempting to move position.
Yes.
You successfully moved position. You are now on the same tile. You managed to meander your vehicle over the guardrail and start driving down the sidewalk and are now directly on the other side of the vehicle from Angela.
Perfect. Let's shoot him.
And so he started blasting at point blank range.
Yes, because now that puts us within close range. So what?
Oh dear. All right, what rate of fire are you using?
So the first thing I want to know is what base downsides to shooting would I have right now?
Excuse me?
Am I getting any minuses at the moment? Besides what will happen for recoil if I do rate of fire?
So far as I'm aware, you're basically at an increment of like, I don't know, 5 feet. So no.
Okay, cool.
Unless you want to like specifically shoot the driver.
What detriment would I get for shooting at the tires? I'm assuming it's gonna be like a minus.
Trying to shoot at the tire or the driver incurs a called shot, which is a -4.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just... What if I just say shoot at the front of the vehicle specifically? Is that still technically a called shot, or is that less of a detriment?
Basically, you'd just be shooting at the vehicle with no penalty.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to avoid shooting at the place where the kidnapped person is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Theater of the mind.
All right, well, rate of fire 3. Here we go.
All right, give me 3 checks. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. What have you done? All right, give me another 2 checks. You ain't done. All right.
That's
a 1?
Didn't do much. Yeah, that's a 1, and this one's at -2, so that's also nothing. Or no, that's not. So that first one hurts.
All right, go ahead and give me a damage roll with all your damage for your Uzi.
Yeah, so that'd be 2d6 normally. That raise doesn't increase that at all, does it?
The raise allows you to get your bonus damage.
What bonus damage?
Roll your damage. So you see how it says bonus damage on the second number?
Ah, okay. So I've got...
So that is a 6 plus a 3, that is a 9. I'm going to say that's going to deal another wound to the vehicle, and it's not having a good time, Jenny.
Good. 2 magazines on backup.
Alright. That was a quick one. Unless Angela's turn. You see Plem lighting up the chassis of the vehicle with hot Uzi lead.
Yeah.
Hot single Uzi lead near you. Call now.
Can I shoot something in front of us again?
So your weapon fires in a cone, so let's see if I can, give you an image of this. You can fire your weapon, but you would have to do it like this. You would essentially be firing it off into the side of the street. Is that acceptable?
Are there any pedestrians or anything?
Give me a notice roll.
If there are, I've probably hit them by now.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, that's a success. Anybody who has seen the vehicle spinning out of control twice has decided that the discretion is the better part of not dying, and they've boarded themselves up in their home.
Okay. If I shoot sideways towards the sidewalk, is it gonna hit a home?
I will say at a range of at a range of 55 feet in a cone, you might do some superficial damage, but otherwise you should be fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Alright, that's a success. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh Lord, she coming.
Oh.
I believe that is a success with a raise, which means that the vehicle is now destroyed. Right. Angela, you lob this shot underneath the section where the tire meets the suspension, you see the lid or the hood of the van essentially blow itself off and go careening and partially embedding itself into the side of a residential sector.
Oops.
I want me one of those.
The passenger side door flies off the vehicle and skids next to your nice, disgustingly, amazingly pink bike. I'm gonna roll a vigor check for the driver.
Very low. He did.
You see the driver slumped on his. You see the driver slumped on his steering wheel. The van is now emitting a long, constant honking noise.
Cool.
Are we out of combat at all?
The chase is over. However, the van is still closed.
But can I move freely?
You may.
Okay. Then would like to go up to the driver side and just be like, God damn it, man, I told you to pull over. And then can I just take the crystal out of my back pocket and be like, you better hope this works, and just like touch him with it?
Okay, you touch the man slumped, the hideous looking man slumped over on his steering wheel and appears to do nothing.
Well, I tried, and I'll go to the back of. Is the passenger still conscious?
There is no passenger of the vehicle. However, you can assume that the two people who you saw during the beginning of the altercation are still inside of the midsection of the vehicle.
Okay, then I'll go to the back and try to open the doors. And if they open, I'll immediately just point my rocket launcher inside. I won't fire it, just pointing it.
Okay, Clem, you see Angela give a cursory inspection of the vehicle, and then she prods the unconscious or dead driver with what looks like a rock, and then she goes to the back of the vehicle. What are you doing?
Alright, so, very first thing, obviously, hopping off the bike, we're gonna toss 2 fresh shells in the shotgun real quick, just to make sure that's ready to go. Which means I'm down 2 shotgun shells from inventory. Magazine should be fine for now. Don't have to worry about that. We'll put it in park. Start walking around the outside the vehicle, basically taking a look at it, just seeing what entrances there are before meeting her at the back door, I'm presuming. But which door did they yank her from? Was it one of the side doors?
So imagine like a standard delivery van. There's a passenger side door, there's a driver's side door, and then there's like the cargo doors, like the back doors and the sliding side door.
Alright, so he'll get outside the slugging side door and just kind of give like a nod, like a knowing nod, as she's trying to get the rear door open, and just kind of be ready to kind of pop open the side door as well.
Okay, did
Basically
both of
waiting for her
you
to open.
like coordinate this at all, or are you gonna have to roll initiative against each other to see who does what first?
Let's try and coordinate this here, because obviously we have a hostage situation. It'd be very unfortunate to not be coordinated and bad things happen. And also, we technically kind of do want at least one of these individuals alive. And it doesn't look like the driver is going to be one of them.
Well, you haven't really looked at him. You just kind of assumed that he was dead.
I mean, I could solve that issue, but we're not going to just yet. I'm trying to stay clean. I did really well on getting dressed this morning. He says after going through a full-ass fucking vehicle chase.
All right,
Can
Andrew,
I,
go ahead.
before I open up the doors, seeing that Talk's at the sliding ones, can I real quick just like run to the front of the vehicle? Does the front door open?
The front driver's side door?
Yeah.
It does.
Is he buckled?
No.
I drag him out by his collar and then I walk to the back.
Okay, you drag this this poor injured individual out by his lapels, and you just begin skid marking him on the pavement.
Yeah. And then I'll open the door, and with him dragged behind me in one hand and my grenade launcher in the other hand. I'll just point it on the inside just for whoever's in there. Again, not firing, just intimidation.
And as she pops open the door, because I'm assuming I'm going to be able to hear it based on the clasp and latch and whatnot, Plem will go ahead and pop open the sliding door on the side.
Okay. As this is happening, Ariki, you have been jogging this entire time and being a complete trooper to entertain this absolute nonsense as you see Angela and Plem just completely shellac this destroyed van and then drag out its occupant. Incidentally, give me a notice check. Okay. You see four armored individuals with a really nice looking kit running in the general direction of the altercation.
Coming towards me or following me?
They are the complete opposite way of you, but they are running towards the vehicle, and you would essentially meet up in the middle.
Okay. I don't have any weapons drawn, so I'm just keep going.
Yep, you don't have the weapons drawn, but you see these people just sort of just like sprinting in the general direction of the altercation. That's what you see. All right. Back to the hostage situation. All right, Plem, Angela. As I understand it, Angela is on the side door and Plem is also on the side door. Yes?
No, I'm on the back doors.
Okay, Angela's on the unmarked back door. There is no window, so they likely don't know that you're coming, other than the vehicle has completely come to a stop and that their driver hasn't been responding.
I think that's going to be the least of their issues in about 2 seconds. Yeah, but
I'm going to say that both of you coordinate a simple countdown as you have no other real means to communicate wirelessly or silently, and then you fling the doors open. Inside, you see another two hideous-looking men with visual deformities, large, bulbous pustules on both sides of their faces, some bigger than others, their skin very brackish and gray, and you see the woman, tear streaks down her face with duct tape over her mouth, being held hostage in gunpoint by one man who has blood coming down the side of his face. Hey, be cool, she dies.
Wait, so... Sorry, I'm just trying to get the numbers. So one of the disformed guys has her up to gunpoint, or is there a third person in there who isn't disformed?
There is a third guy in the vehicle. He is slumped down onto the ground, and he isn't moving.
Oh, okay, so it's just one of the deformed guys that's got a weapon up to it.
Yes, one of them is essentially using her as a human shield. He can't physically hold her both in front of both of you, but Angela's using her grenade launcher.
Right.
I'll just look at him and be like, look, I told your driver to pull over while pointing this at him, and look where we've ended up. Do you think that if you shoot her, it's going to save your life? I will blast this bitch to pieces.
Yeah.
Prototype Liquid Extermination Model 19 would like to inform you that Terminus Intergalactic would prefer you alive. However, this one's side objectives do require that woman alive. We could certainly get the information we're going to need out of you from someone else. So if you wish to commit any kind of atrocity or other thing that may result in immediate pain, I would highly suggest you consider staying alive. Because I'm only here to do a job, and I will do it because that is what is required of me. Do the smart thing. Lay the weapons down. Let her go. Let's talk.
Plum, in the middle of this tirade, I'm going to do a smarts check.
Smarts?
Yes, roll your smarts attribute, please.
Ooh. Fuck.
Unlucky. Okay. A couple of times during this long tirade, Angela, you see this guy sort of, like, kind of drop his guard, and eventually you see the woman try to make a break for it. He's like, hey, no, don't think so, honey.
I'll just look at him and be like, look, the guy, he talks a lot. I get it. But you'll die a lot. So either let her go or explode. Your choice.
If I'm going down, I'm going to make sure the Bannermen take you with me. Or I can just walk out of here, and this pretty little number is gonna come with me. You hear the woman, throughout all this altercation, just screaming through her gag.
I have a grenade launcher.
And I have a gun and a hostage.
Do you think the Bannermen are going to stand up to it?
I thought the
take my
Bannermen were on our
chances.
side.
All right, Angela. Roll me persuasion.
Can I can I cock it?
Cock it?
Yeah. Like you cock a gun, I'll just cock it and be like, "All right, you'll take your chances."
You see him look left, look right, look at Plem.
He's got like a double-barreled shotgun and a fucking Uzi pointed basically directly at his chest and head.
You see this man who has a hostage weigh up his options of the person holding a grenade launcher and conventional weapons. And Angela, you see him bodily, effectively throw the woman at you, and he makes a go for Plem.
Oh, I'll catch her.
He seems to be taking his chances. I will give you the drop for both of these shots if you wish to use them.
Oh, of course. He just ran at a man pointing a double barrel at his chest.
And
so let's see what's gonna happen here. So first off, we're gonna start with the shotgun. I mean, we're not getting a multi-action penalty anyways because of the two-gun kit, but we're gonna start with the shotgun just for the fun of it. So we're gonna do both barrels. And
oh no!
Yes. So it'll be the roll damage once plus 4. So we'll start with our first shooting here with the shotgun. 5, thank Christ. I was gonna be really upset with that too for a second. Alright. And then it'll be both barrels, whatever damage that is, plus 4. So 9 plus 4.
Alright, but what about
Oh,
your Uzi?
actually, I got a plus 2 shooting roll as well, so that would have been a 7 technically, but I don't think that would have caused any difference, would it?
Sweet, do you also shoot him with your Uzi?
Is he dead already, or do I gotta shoot him with the Uzi?
This is a split-second decision. Do you shoot him with your Uzi?
Yeah, fuck it. We'll make sure, and we're doing full rate of fire on this bad
Alright,
boy
rate
as
of
well.
fire 10. You fucking unload on this man as he throws the hostage in Angela's trying to fucking get away.
He looked like he was sprinting at me, and he had a gun
He
still,
chose
so-
his... He took his chances with the guy who wasn't holding a grenade launcher. That's all you know.
Well, that's his mistake. Like, why would you shoot the grenade launcher?
There were
when
no
he has a
good
hostage?
options. He chose.
The good option would have been to throw down his gun and let go of the hostage. That was the good option for him. He'd still be alive here after this.
No one said he was making good decisions. Oh no. Okay, so that's success with the raise on your auto fire for your first shot.
There's
That's a
second
success
one.
on your second shot.
Ah.
And the van gets it in the third.
Alright, so I'm rolling the damage twice.
Yep.
Is it 2 successful hits? Oh!
Alright, Angela, I assume you drop your gun to, like, grab the hostage before she breaks her neck falling out of the van? Angela?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
So you see the hostage coming your way. Do you attempt to grab the hostage? Do you drop your weapon? Do you prevent the poor girl from breaking her neck as she's, like, careening out of the van?
I will. I will push the button that's on the like handle that retracts the gun back into just being the handle, and then I'll just catch her.
Sure. I'll get this to you without an athletics roll. You bodily grab her, and you see this guy make a lunge for Pleb, your new stalwart companion, apparently, as you just hear... You see this man's liver go on several different pieces as his shotgun blast nearly bifurcates him, and the Uzi nearly finishes the job. the last several rounds blast off into the roof of the van.
Fuck.
You have atomized this man. I would roll a vigor check, but he's dead.
Gotcha. I'll take the gag out of her mouth because I never caught her name.
Can I just hit a one-liner real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Terminus Intergalactic would like to thank you for your patronage.
Lord. I'll take the gag out of her mouth. She's like, you okay?
I'm gonna give you both a Benny for solving this situation so turgidly and handedly.
The other guy's probably sitting there like shitting himself. Should have been wearing a brown
What other guy?
trousers.
As I'm getting close, and I'm assuming those other four are,
Mhm.
just have my hands up going, medic, medic.
I don't think you're gonna be able to save that one guy from being
No, I'm hitting for the driver. I'm not hitting for that one.
Yep, Ariki, you see Plem just completely paint the van's inner wall with this man's gore as he essentially nearly slumps in two pieces in front of Plem out of the van. As
He tried.
Angela, as you remove the duct tape on this poor girl, giving her a free waxing, she gives a brief one. She's like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Oh my god, they were gonna take me. She gives you a
I'll
hug.
pull her into a hug. Aw, yeah, I'll just hug her back. Rub her back
Plum's
in
gonna
the friendly, non-creepy manner. There.
As
It's
she's
all right.
sobbing into your shoulder, you hear, "I'm so fucking dumping Adam after this. Leave me waiting on the corner for 2 hours, that son of a bitch."
Yeah, what kind of asshole does that?
Right?
Plum's gonna reload his shotgun while this is happening here.
Are you hurt at all? I got some weird medic.
I think
Yeah,
I think I got a There's a team tie-dye! Get on the fucking ground! You see 3 people immediately come over to the left side of the van, Plem.
Who are they talking to?
They're talking
You.
to you.
Just in time. 3 suspects apprehended. Supposed kidnappers involved with the incidences happening down in Z Block. Oh, I've just realized they probably haven't told you we were arriving, have they?
You see the Arabic woman, like, lower her laser SMG and then look at the inside of the van. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ! And we're gonna end it there.
Intergalactic- Oh, just. I was about to say, Terminus Intergalactic creates us to be efficient and thorough in our process.
Thorough.
Hey, sometimes persuasion's hard for me. All right, so therefore this speech is difficult. Actually, fair, it only happens against. Oh no, I've got Outsider too. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Alright, everybody, thank you for coming. You will all get an advancement for this session. Congratulations, you have now been involved in a high-speed car chase.
Yes, and hostage rescue. I'm loving it already.
And maybe you'll learn something important about what you were actually sent here for next session. If we ever have a next session. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
What's the advancement again? Can you just remind me?
So, effectively, you're an advancement 2 for... You can level up 2 skills, or if you wish to supersede your statistic that skill is tied to, you can level your skill once, up to a die that is above that, up to D12. You can get an edge, or in Angela's case, and Irie's case, you can get a new power. Or more power points.
And then how do I get rid of something?
How do
You
you get
said
rid of
I
something?
can get rid of an
Okay.
edge.
If it is a major edge, you will reduce its severity if that is possible, or you will have to save up another edge to completely remove it, and you would have to tell me which one it is.
Are you able to buff attributes with your advances?
Yes, you are able to buff your attributes once per experience tier. That is, I believe, novice, which is your current level, seasoned. Let me look. Novice, seasoned, veteran, heroic, and then legendary. You can essentially level up your stats as many times as you want, up until you're a D12, unless you want to get a specific edge that gives you an additional.
Okay. So then it would be... That would be the only thing I could use the advancement on? Or is it like I could upgrade a D8 in attribute and a random dice in a skill?
It is one die in attribute, one die in a skill that goes above your attribute, or two skills below your attribute that are going to that are below or meet your attribute, an edge, or a power or more power points. I believe those are your options.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll go for buff and strength for now. I suppose we'll make our strength slightly better.
Okay.
I'll figure it out this week.
Okay. Thank you all for coming, everybody. I hope you had fun. Sorry, Ari, there wasn't really much for you to do in a car chase that you were involved in.
It's all right.
And remember,
At least I didn't get shot.
good.
I'd like to get rid of this.
I figured there's, three of them going around the vehicle. I figure there's one coming towards me.
You were saying you wanted to get rid of something, Star?
Yeah, the big mouth.
Oh, did you put it in the... Oh, okay. Is Big Mouth a minor or a major hindrance?
It's a minor.
Okay, I will allow you to get rid of Big Mouth then.
Wait, we
Cool.
both got the big mouth hindrance?
Yeah. Just you now.
I'm gonna keep it. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm ever gonna get rid of it. I like it.
Excellent. I have reset your bennies for next session, if that ever happens. Thank you all for coming.
Ooh.
I like that he gave us a Benny just to end it, and they don't carry over.
No,
Look,
he meant you like
if I could run a
reset.
12-hour session and everyone had time, I would do it. Even in this heat.
Alright. Well, this was fun. I like this.
I'm glad.
It's
I'm really glad it
interesting.
didn't turn out to be something that everyone hated.
Yeah, that would have sucked.